As the leader of the Booner Path, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff, Booner, Lukas. It is Friday, June 6th. We are back. Friday show, going into the weekend. I mean, OTAs are wrapping up. Get ready, fellas. It's the drought for the next 2 months, probably. But you know what? But for football, I should say, not for all sports. For football.
Yeah.
The Tigers are going to keep us afloat. Pistons are going to, their offseason, free agency, all that stuff's going to keep us afloat. And then we'll see what the Red Wings do. But, man, it's been a good week, though. I mean, besides Frank retiring, that's probably the worst.
I was going to say, this is probably the most eventful week we've actually had in Detroit sports since the NFL draft.
Yeah.
So, it's been an interesting week. I'm not going to lie, boys. Hold on a sec. I'm pretty fired up. Good Friday, huh? It's a beautiful day. It's beautiful out. You know?
It was a great Friday, Boone. Great Friday.
I just had a blizzard. I haven't had a blizzard in years. And DQ? I don't know. DQ, yep.
Wow.
And I haven't had one in years. And I just said, you know what?
I think
they deserve one today.
I think I've only had Dairy Queen once in my life, to be honest.
I haven't
can't
had.
remember when it was. I just know I've had. I think my aunt took me when I was younger.
That's a crazy move that you have had it once in your life.
Where do you go get
ice cream?
There's only one near me. Remember we were talking to who was it, Bruce Gradkowski? He's like, that Dairy Queen still in the corner? It's not.
No, that was Matt Eberflus.
Not.
Matt Eberflus walked up to us we were talking about Toledo, and he goes, "Is that Dairy Queen still there?" And you're like, "Yeah." And you're like, after he left, you're like, "Nah, it's not there."
I've just never had a Dairy Queen. It's never like, ooh,
that is
Dairy
crazy.
Right there.
I'll say this, and I don't mean to call Dairy Queen out in a negative aspect. I think they're a very fine establishment. A couple years ago, I had a piece of something gross in my ice cream cone. I don't want to say what it was because it was really nasty, and it might turn a lot of people off of Dairy Queen but I haven't gone in. I think it was a fingernail. It was a fingernail. Oh. It was one of the most disgusting things I've ever. And it made me think I don't ever want to eat out again in my life. And it was in my ice cream cone, vanilla ice cream cone. And I haven't gone back to Dairy Queen since. It was years ago. And I have family that goes there. I'm okay. I'm good. I don't remember the last time I really had something from there.
Dude, what do you think's worse? Because I was gonna say at Sonic, I got a sweet. I think I've told you this, boys, but I've got a sweet tea, and there was a cockroach at the bottom.
That's bad too. No, that's just as bad.
But I would almost prefer the cockroach over a human fingernail.
A fingernail, it was so gross. At first, I was like, it's not a fingernail. No way it is. And then once I realized, I looked at it a little more, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely a nail.
Hey, I had one bad experience, not at any ice cream places, though. It was at Qdoba. I got a Qdoba bowl. And in the bowl, there was that thing at the bottom of the drain that catches everything.
Oh, no.
Dude.
That's crazy. That's what
the metal.
Yeah. Oh, was it
clean?
That
in a bowl, bro. You could have sued for sure.
Because they put it on the bottom of each of those containers. You know what I'm saying? It's like the little cat. Oh, dude.
Oh no. Yeah, you definitely could sue. I think you could sue for any of that type of stuff if you find something like that.
I walked
into
Dobas. I still eat Doba. I love Doba. But I go in there, I
should have given you a year free of
well, I wasn't thinking. They were like, oh my God. They're like, I'm like, can I just get a new one? And they're like, yeah. And then I walked
when they heard that, they were probably like, that's all you want? That's all?
That's all you want?
You swear?
Yeah, no, I fumbled that bag for sure.
For sure, dude. I probably do with the nail too. It's probably with the cockroach too. That's the only bad negative about eating out is you just don't know who's making your food and what it's going through. And when I had that, and today was one of the first, maybe second time in the last couple of years that I got DQ again, and I just want some ice cream or something.
Successful trip though.
You got to.
Yeah, it was good, dude. I don't know. I tried this new flavor.
Turn the blizzard upside down.
We'll see. Not can't. It's empty now.
Oh,
they
that
did do
thing
it.
where
They do it to me though. What did I get? I got a chocolate chip cookie dough. Oh, it was good. Cookie dough in it. I love cookie dough.
Cookie dough is elite. I don't know if I do the chocolate with it. More of a vanilla guy myself, but cookie dough added on
I don't
top
know
is
if I could
definitely
switch.
game
I don't know if you could switch there. I'm not sure. I've never tried
changer.
to
I'm sure.
customize.
If you can't put vanilla ice cream and cookie dough together at a Dairy Queen, the fuck
I
are you
don't
doing?
listen. DQ, I think is like, hey, these are our flavors. Don't touch them. And then they have like 100 of them.
Hey, shout out Mike Reed, man. Shout out Mike Reed. I see him in the
Real
chat.
one?
Chip God says Chipotle be having hella shit in their food. Yeah, to be honest, just
I've heard a
personally,
lot about Chipotle actually.
Not a fan of Chipotle. Again, I know people that love Chipotle. Personally, I'll always go to Qdoba. And they don't even sponsor us, and I'm saying that. So this should tell you something. Like Qdoba.
We'll take a sponsorship.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you this. I need to say this right now.
Okay.
Because we are on air and the Thunder were up 12. We got up.
What did I
Halliburton hit another clutch shot.
Dude.
I said still give me the Pacers in this.
I'm not going that far. I'm still going to go Thunder. But
I'm going Pacers. I knew it. What the hell?
This is the thing that makes no sense
Alabama.
with that game. That game made no sense. The Pacers had 20 plus turnovers
In the first half.
They had like 24 total in the game or something crazy.
The Thunder had like 5 or 6 for the game. What they did wrong is down the stretch, just terrible shot selection. I mean, it was just bad. It looked like a young team that was panicking a little bit. So the fact that the Pacers won that playing as bad as they did, that's a great win for them.
And I think what really helped them is, at least in the first half, because I fell asleep probably like beginning of the fourth quarter, and I was like, oh, Thunder won, wake up, see the shot, and like, what the hell happened? Either way, though, that first half, even though the Thunder had the lead, I think what kept them from not blowing the brakes off the game was, again, at least in the first half, the foul trouble for OKC, like, Indiana was getting more calls. Like, they were not allowing Shea to get those ticky-tacky calls. Now, he got a couple, but you weren't looking in at the game every 2 minutes and seeing Oklahoma Thunder player at the free throw line. You were seeing basketball, unfortunately, in the first half for Indianapolis, and like they just were turning the ball over relentlessly. Like, if they didn't turn the ball over 18 to 20 times in that first half, they probably win that game by 10. But they pulled out by 1 point last shot.
I mean, bottom line, teams are 0-97 in the finals when trailing by 9 or more in the last 3 minutes before last night. So that's, the Thunder, same thing with the Pacers. See, the Pacers, the difference was obviously Halliburton hitting a clutch shot, but down the stretch, it was the guys around Halliburton making plays. And then Halliburton closed it with another beautiful, I think he's like 13 of 15 on game
13 of 15, I think, is the exact stat that I sent today. It was a video.
And then for Shea, on the other hand, he just didn't get really as much help late in the game. But I think,
I don't even play. I will say this because, and I know we had to shout out Philando. We're in the group chat with him, and he last night, as soon as it happens,
that was crazy.
Halliburton's the luckiest player of all time in the NBA. Like,
that was emotion.
And I had texted him. I said, "You've said that about Tom Brady. You said that about every single player. Like, Halliburton is not the luckiest player." And stats start coming out. I watched their show this morning, and he has all the stats about, Halliburton was 2 for 7 from 3. 2 for 7 from 3. All of these guys did this for him. It's like, yeah, welcome to having a good team around you. Like, there are superstars who don't have a bunch of different stars on his team, like LeBron James has had. No offense, Jeff. I'm just saying, like, who don't need all these superstars to win, but they just need good players around them that gel very well and come up in moments so you're able to be in those moments. And when push comes to shove with the last minute of the game, can your superstar or can your star step up? In the Pacers side of things, who steps up every time? Tyrese Halliburton. And Jeff, you make the comment, well, SGA's teammates didn't step up, but he did. No, like, I'm not taking that. No, SGA had a shoot
in the fucking rock.
Yeah, like, those guys are playing well. SGA had a shot with 5 seconds or 15 seconds left to take the lead or to win the game.
That was the difference.
He missed it. And then Tyrese gets the ball and shoots and gets a shot, and he makes his. So it's like star versus star. Who's going to step up at the very end? Like, that's what the game is about. It's what the NFL is about. It's what the Major League Baseball is about. It's, hey, as a team, you get to the end. But when it comes to the end in a championship series, does your star beat out their star? And last night, that's all it is. There's no, hey, Tyrese had his players shooting this well. No, there is none of that. If you are a sports purist, all it comes down to is you have a great team that gets you to the end. Can your star overcome it? And Tyrese has done it 13 of the last 15 times of him having those shots in the final minute, I think it is, to win or tie a game. An insane stat. I don't care if he's putting up 25, 30 a game. I know some people think that Siakam's the best player on that. Wrong. Go look at the stats. Siakam's very good. Siakam averages 2 more points than Tyrese in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But Tyrese puts up 10 to 12 assists a night. He gets you 7 or 8 rebounds a night, and he is the heartbeat and hitting those shots at the end of the game. It is Tyrese Halliburton's team. You cannot deny it. And when I hear the hate on all it is, and I text Flannelist today, I love him so much. You just hate Tyrese. If that's it, just admit that.
I think he ended
you
up
could just say that.
Clarifying it a little bit, because at first I didn't know what the argument was, and then when I found out what it was, I was fine. I was like, if we're talking about him just hitting clutch shots, I'm cool. I'm not. I think there's a difference. I think Flannel was taking it like people were saying he's carrying the Pacers, which is not true. He's not carrying the Pacers.
No, I mean, it's just such a good team. It's the same thing with SGA is carrying them kind of, but Jalen Williams, those guys are playing so out of their mind right now.
He played bad, Jalen Williams.
And it's even with the Celtics last year, it wasn't just Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown carrying them. It was they were just such a good team. And I think it's the same thing with this Pacers team. Is from top to bottom, from 1 to 8, 1 to 9, however many of those guys play, dude, they're just so solid. And then you have your star.
It's not Tyrese's game too. He's not going to get you 25 a night. You know,
he's a different star.
He's going to get you 25, and the next night 15, but 12 assists. He's going to kind of. It's back.
If he needs to, he can go get you 30, 40.
Yeah,
he's done it.
He's done it. Yeah.
I don't think that's why I think he's just a different. And people have the conversation: is he a superstar? If they win the finals and he wins NBA Finals MVP, I would put him in that category. I think he's a different superstar. I don't think he's a superstar that average. And this is where I think Flannel with the Ben Wallace argument. It's you can't score. You average 10 points a game. You're never going to be in that. No, I just think there's in the game. In the game of basketball, there's different. Yeah, there's different superstars. You don't have to always average 40 points a game to be a superstar. Yes, that helps and that's good. But if you're Tyrese Halliburton and you're hitting game-winning shots, game-tying shots, you're averaging 10+ assists, averaging 20-something a game, and you're winning an NBA Finals for a team that's never won it before, you're a superstar. You're the face of the league. You are there now. And in my opinion, there's just no question about it. You can have every argument you want, and you can use other players' stats, all of that. But it's just, to me, that's a fact. You know what I mean? If Cade took the Pistons to the finals and won it, and he averaged 20, 10, and 6, we would be like, hey, Cade's now a super. He's a superstar. He's there.
I feel like, and again, I don't think he's going to be Steve Nash or Jason Kidd, but not Jason Kidd could get a bucket for sure. And we're not saying he couldn't score, but Jason Kidd, you never thought of as this over the top, he's going to get you 25 a night. You knew he was going to be the smartest player on the court, put your team in the best position to win. And he's an all-time point guard. I think the same thing can be said about Steve Nash, obviously, but that's the type of style where it's he's not Jason Kidd or Steve Nash, but he brings that same type of, let's get the best, the 5 players that are on the court right now. How do I make sure that they're all maximizing their talents? And that's what Tyrese Halliburton does, I think, consistently.
What's so funny, Jeff?
I'm just laughing at this Taylor Lewan. What game was this at?
I don't even know.
I think it was the St. Louis Cardinals.
Him and Will.
I didn't see this. This is my first time seeing this. So this is Taylor Lewan throwing
one
the
of
first pitch.
Funniest.
He's a left. Think. Yeah, he is. Here it comes. The full windup. The pitch. Look out!
Look at wait, can you rewind it real quick? We can play the whole video because Will throws an absolute stripe.
Yeah, he is. Here
Watch Will behind him. This is a funny friend.
Look out!
Oh no, bro!
That's just.
And
Will throws a stripe down the middle.
Compton will try to get
Will
a little closer to home.
He threw it. He might have struck someone out with this one.
rather have him on the mound than
Here it
Miami,
comes.
for sure.
Oh,
Had some velo
Oh
on it, too.
It'll be
no.
a long car
You know,
ride
you know the
back
crazy
home
thing
for
about this
Taylor
too
Lewan.
is like as big as those guys are, and I watched like some of the
lucky.
videos of them in the car after. Will was like secretly recording Taylor, and he was like raw reaction, and it is so true. Like when you're that, like once you get big enough and something like that happens, like Will was like recording. It was like, I just want you to know, and I know you're gonna hate this, but like that's gonna sit with you the rest of your life. Like there's going to be millions of people who the first time they think about you and see you is going to be that throw.
Yeah.
Like that is going to, that's a part of you now. And,
'Cause even-
Taylor's like, oh no, like because Stephen A is like people talk about
I
Stephen
would say
A.
50 Cent. 50
50
Cent. I mean,
Cent.
how big of a rapper, actor? Like he's done
I just
everything.
saw,
One of the first things I
Conor
think of was
McGregor.
that first pitch.
Yeah, like
Conor McGregor's was bad.
if you're that big and you have a bad first pitch, like especially that bad, like that defines you for a while. Like people are gonna like it's tough. I guess it's a good way for content though.
Yeah, I mean, you
Good for
can
content.
purposely mess up just to go viral. I mean,
They
I'll
put
tell you
it on
what,
first take.
it did?
Yeah. Stephen A reacted to it on first take for like 5 minutes, like laughing at Taylor. It was like, I'm gonna text the boys. Like, this is insane.
Yeah, I would be practicing. I would be practicing.
For sure.
You have to sharpen up the tools. If you're going out there to throw the first pitch, you better make sure you're ready. All right, at least get ready. Go in
Do you
the
think right
backyard.
now, no practice, if you guys stepped out in Comerica Park to throw the first pitch, that you'd be able to get it?
I think I could get
It wouldn't
it
be as
straight.
good as Will, but I bet I would be.
It wouldn't be as fast.
It'd be around.
I'll tell you what, boys.
used to be a
I
good
think
pitcher,
one
bro.
of the three of us, if we all three did it, I know for a fact one of the three of us are throwing it over without practice. Well, I don't, dude.
Yeah,
I was playing catch on what was the holiday recently? Memorial Day on that Monday with my cousin, and I've thrown a baseball my whole life, and I'm throwing it. I haven't thrown it in a couple of years, and I'm just tossing it to him. There's some just getting away from me, just like, and I'm like, oh man, like.
It depends. If you're trying to put a lot of speed on it, you lose control. Like that's what makes those guys different. I'm not going to throw it 100 miles per hour. I mean, I'm not even going to throw it 80, but I'll throw it 50 and it'll get there. 40.
Get there. Get where it's
You know what I mean?
supposed to
I just
go.
want to make sure if I'm ever doing something like that, I just want to make sure it goes straight. I don't give a shit how fast I throw it. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about that. Because once I try and put some speed on it, I might be getting I might be hitting the audience or something. It might look a
Little
little
Hendon
bit-
Hooker.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. It'll look exactly like Taylor Lewan's if I try and throw as hard as I can. I don't know. It wouldn't be as bad. I don't know. It would be interesting. Maybe we should do that one time. You know, why not? Maybe like do a little, just to see what the boys look like if we had a baseball. We'll have
Caleb back
as the
there
catcher.
behind the plate.
You know what we should do?
Caleb as the catcher, and he'll judge our. We did like a
could-
hypothetical first pitch.
We could reach out to the Jimmy John's field people and do it at one of their games and just ask like, hey, we want to make a video. And we could like we could do like practice video before, like a couple days before. We're like
Hit up
practicing.
Mudhens too, Boone.
We could. I don't know. That would be a tough one to do. We could try, but I mean, if you know anyone inside the Mudheads
Whoa.
organization, we could try and do that though. That'd be funny, and do a whole video series around it.
Travel the country to minor league ballparks and just throw out all the first pitches that we can in the shortest time span possible.
Yeah, we get a world record. That'd be.
It's like
something.
we get picked up by like a softball team. They see my pitch.
I want to join one of those so bad. One of those like
Thursday nights. Like, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I got asked to play one time by shout out. It was Stick and Adam when they were playing.
That would have been so much fun.
I know. I didn't.
Why'd you do it?
I couldn't play that night. I don't know what I was doing, but I was like, damn, I can't play tonight. And I never. That was the only opportunity. But it would be cool as hell to go play. It would be sick.
I bet Boone could be a good like third, fourth spot batter. Boone gets a hold of one.
Oh,
I'm
he
he might only get to second, but he's hitting it to the fences.
I told you guys, I'm 1 for 1 in my career at the field where I played growing up, and I hit a double, and I was 1 for 1, but then I quit after that because I was rounding third. I said, "Don't let me." I told you guys this story. Like, do not let me slide.
don't
put me in a scenario to where I ever have to slide. It was like a scrimmage. It was like during AAU season for basketball. I joined a team just to like get some, have some fun on some nights. and I'm coming around third, and my coach says, "Go, go, go," and I'm like, I don't have to slide, right? Like mid-run, like I'm not sliding, and then all of a sudden I get the signal, you got to slide, and the ball's coming in. I slid like 5 feet short.
Oh no,
Dude, the home plate was so far away. I'm sitting on the ground like, yeah, this isn't ideal. So I never came
Dude,
back.
You know who could hit absolute bombs at those softball like leagues? I got told through a very trusted source, Joik Bell hitting bombs.
Of
yeah,
course.
I bet he fucking could.
I mean, we're talking about an NFL running back.
But he's a gifted. He apparently had some baseball background to him.
Okay.
They said he was hitting bombs. Him and Braylon. Braylon actually has that too.
I feel like Braylon's just the type of dude.
Good at
literally,
anything.
if he tried anything, he'd be the
Yeah.
best in the room at it,
Some of
even
those
if
guys
he's
are-
never done it before. Those
But
people
Joik,
just like
they said Joik
And
was
I mean-
sending piss missiles, dude.
Hitting bombs, dude. Like there's a point where it just becomes do you have the strength? Braylon's massive, dude. Like
Yeah.
Braylon would just like barely swing, and that thing's going probably out. So that's
Yeah,
tough.
you need good hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
Definitely. And he's a
I think I could
receiver.
hit a bomb. I think I could hit a couple. I don't know. Like
get
to
some
try.
contact, Bo, and there's some
Yeah.
momentum there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get it
getting
out there.
contact.
Just gonna get it out there. It's it's single dot.
Jeff's
I
punting.
just get it in play. Yeah, just let me work. Hey, I'll be out there.
He'd see a pitch go through, step out of the batter's box, and give one of the.
It's a kind of a tough look right now.
Nervous shakes.
Who would have the best first pitch? Jeff is sitting there at 11%. That's tough. That is tough.
Not a good look.
Hey, you know what? I like that. It's exactly where I want to be. I want to be the
No, I'm
slip down
sure.
one. That's fine.
And you not in a room to disappoint anybody. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, you don't think I can? All right. Let's see it.
Jeff, I think I'm better at every sport than you.
You don't even believe what you just said, which is the funny part.
What are the sports that we've played? We've played 2 sports together. Golf, I've got you. No offense. That's you're getting better.
And I'm on your ass.
Relax. You're not really. I mean, once you get to a certain point in golf, it's like how long has it taken you to get past 100? Under 100? Long time. Imagine it's going to take you to get.
Oh, you just hurt his feelings, Boone.
Bowling. No, that was out of respect. Bowling, I've beat you every time. I'm kind of good at
Basketball.
bowling. Hoops, 1-on-1 when we played 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. Whose team won? Me and Klotz. I've never lost to Jeff besides in like a video game.
Klotz carried you in that game.
No, he did not. Klotz even said he didn't after. Klotz after was like Booner.
We
I
both
was like
we both got
Russell
ours.
Westbrook.
Klotz hit like 4 threes in that game.
No, he didn't. He had like 2,
He was
and
on
it was
fire.
I set him up, and
Klotz was on fire.
I was like the point guard out there. Caleb couldn't guard. No one could
What are
guard
you
me.
trying to do? Do you want to do an Olympics against me?
I'm
right
just
now?
saying.
Are you
We
challenging
played
me to
3
do something?
sports. We've played 3 sports together versus each
How about
other.
a 40-yard dash?
I mean, even if you
wanna
want to
do
add
that?
pool in there, the last time we played pool,
Let's
I
get
beat you.
moving. How
Hold
about
on.
that?
No, we're talking sports, not track.
Anything physical. Let's
We have played
let's
3,
compete.
and then even if you want to throw a pool in there, we played pool versus each other.
He's
the
throwing
last time.
Do that.
And I
You
beat
want
you
to talk
4
about darts?
That's a lie.
beat you 4 straight
That's-
games in
that's a
pool
lie.
a couple
That's
weeks
a lie.
ago.
That's
No, that's not. I did.
This is where we're.
But we're
spitting
talking about the
bullshit.
last time. The last time we played, and you looked at me and went, "Oh, boo, you had a night."
I
beat you 4
beat me
straight
that night.
games.
We played before. I beat you that other night.
No, that was just like a back and forth. I just think the last time
I've never won in pool.
you've won in pool. You've won in pool. You've won in pool. No, you've won in pool.
Yeah, we
but
definitely are.
but the last time we played, I skunked you and beat you like 4 straight, and you were like, "I'm done." You walked away. You
This
just
has gotta
left.
Be a part of when we do the 24-hour stream. That this has got to be a part of
I'm
it.
sensing a lot of insecurity from the left side of the screen.
He said from the left side of the screen.
I'm getting a lot of insecurity. I'm better than you, and that's fine.
No. This isn't me attacking you. This is just me being like, "Hey, I'm just throwing this out there. We have played like 3 or 4 sports for."
Me, but you're challenging me and attacking me by saying you're better than everything.
No, you got it
Which is
wrong.
crazy
I'm not
thing.
challenging you. You're saying challenge. I'm not going to challenge. It was just the last 4 times that we've played a sport. I just have happened to go 4-0. I just don't know. I don't know what it is, man. I've got your number, man. He has nothing to say. It's just
No,
like
it's not true. It's not true.
it is
But-
though, because that's why you're trying to think of what to say. You're just like, yeah, Boone actually like really thinking about it.
No,
Hey,
not
Boone might be Boone might be an athlete.
Lucas and Boone got me in basketball.
That's
MVP
still
Lucas.
I was involved, and you after the game you tried to say Lucas was better, and even Lucas was like, oh no, Boone
Well,
was
he's a
our
good
guy.
teammate.
No, you can't. Dude,
Don't
we
say
went
no
to like
that.
we went to
Great
no. He is a
teammate.
great teammate. I'm sorry.
He's a
We
good
went to like
teammate,
15. I had like 8 or 9 of the points, and Klotz hit like 3
See how
threes.
he's defending Klotz? He's insecure.
But no, that's just a
admit,
fact.
Klotz
It's
was
just
better
no.
than you guys.
It's
Just
just
say
a
it was
fact.
better.
Is I had over half of the points, and
It's a-
Klotz hit 3 big
No.
3. Yeah, a fact. Because after
Klotz
we
had
broke
way
it
more
down.
points than
No,
you.
we broke it down after, and Klotz hit some big tray balls.
It's insecurity.
But I had a lot of the layups in the mid range and the pull ups.
Boone was doing the. I can't dribble, and I can't put up a contested shot
Klotz-
to save my life. Boone would drive, kick out.
He was a
Kyle
great
Korver in
catch
the
and
corner,
shoot.
is he
Yes.
missing? No.
And he hit
He
like
ain't
he
missing.
hit like 3 of them, but we were going to like 15 or 21 or something. I had majority of the
We went
points.
to 11, dude.
I had majority of the points for our squad. I did. Klotz had. It might have been like
So if
6
he hits
to
three
9.
threes and it's
60-40
ones
thing.
and twos, how is 6 points to
But
5? That's
the
11.
reason this is a
Do
thing
the
right now.
math, dumbass. He had more
Yeah,
points than
And you just heard Klotz. No, you just heard Klotz there. We went to 15. You just heard Klotz there. It was a 60-40 thing. Facts. And you're just trying to say that it was Klotz that did everything. I
He
was.
hot. He
hit good big. He was hitting threes. I was one
Timely
kind of
shot.
playmaking, hesitating, getting to the rim, making plays on Caleb,
Hey, who
fadeaway
won the
jumpers,
conference
mid
finals
range.
MVP for the Pacers. It would have been Siakam.
But I would have scored. Yeah, I scored
appreciate that,
more
but-
points. If we're going just straight points,
See
I
how he's
scored more
insecure.
points.
Just say Lucas was better. It's okay. Be a good teammate. Just say he was good.
All right,
He was good.
this is Jeff deflecting, man. That I've beaten him in 4
All right.
straight sports.
Uh,
What other sports? Actually, Jeff, you actually did beat me recently. I can't believe you didn't think.
No, it's fine.
I don't know if we could say who we were with, but yeah, you did beat me. Dang, never mind. Last week,
40. How about that? How about we just get you moving and I'll win at anything?
So
do we
let's
just
get
do
you
that?
moving.
I beat you in basketball.
No, Lucas did.
Okay,
but
that's you know what? You're getting to a point where it's a little
we can-
disrespectful.
we
I can't handle the
can-
disrespect. I can't handle the
Hey,
disrespect.
I'm returning the disrespect.
No. You can't disrespect and
Yeah.
lie to the people.
You just
On the
lied. You
airwaves.
said you're better at everything than me.
That it was a fun joke. It was
I'm joking too.
pushing.
You guys were both.
Okay,
How about that? We're joking
you're degrading the truth of how the game actually was, and I don't respect. There's no respect in that. If you
Where
respect the
were
game
we
of
at?
basketball,
The intense basketball game. What was that place called?
It was what is that place called? It's on right off 94. It's like some complex they have.
I
over
don't even
there.
know what it's called. That was the first time I've ever been there. We had to kick
Yeah,
people off the
it-
court.
Yeah, it was a sketch.
It's weird.
Gentry was not playing. There was little
No.
kids. We rented out the court for what, like $50 or something like that. And the kids were like 5 minutes over their time. And Gentry came in and kicked every little kid off the court, told them to get
Yeah.
out. We
Yeah.
paid for this.
Their parents were there. It's like we paid $50 for this court for the next.
It's like
hour.
clearly a kid's like basketball court too.
Yeah, we just came in there and kicked
It
kids
felt
off.
very awkward. I'm not gonna lie.
Um,
I was like, they could play on that court. Unc said, no, the whole court's ours. So, all right.
oh, don't. And by the way, Booner, you got everything out? You all good?
Yeah, I didn't mean to call you out. It just happened to pop up, and I just didn't mean to. That's on me, dude.
No, it's fine. You're better at everything than I am.
No,
let's
okay,
get
I
to
take that back. I was just thinking of the last few times we played some type of sport or competition together, and I just so happened to win, and I just popped in my head, and I was like, man,
Sure. I
yeah, you can run faster and longer than me.
Yeah.
Congrats. Want a cookie for that?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not even gonna bring up trivia. I'm not gonna do that, chat.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a tough
no.
one. That's
No,
not
I'm
a sport.
not
Trivia's
gonna
not
bring
a
that up.
trivia's not a sport.
No, I see. That's why I'm not bringing it up.
No, we're talking
Don't
sports.
dis-
Okay,
don't
yeah, you know what? You
disrespect
could be
trivia.
smarter than me. I don't care, dude. I've never been known to be the smart.
Well, you're
one.
not gonna say you're smarter and what? What were you gonna say with the other thing?
Ever-
Physical what?
No, I
We're
didn't.
going
I
physical.
wasn't gonna say anything.
Oh, okay.
I
Smarter.
just said I'm
yeah.
not the smart one. Look at you, man. Open your
Well,
ears
you're like,
up,
yeah, you
bud.
can be smarter than me. Well, you know, if you want to play that, we can go there. But I wasn't gonna bring up the trivia. The chat did. I was just reading the chat.
You literally brought the trivia.
I was just reading the chat. That's what they were
Nah,
talking. That's all I was doing. People were talking. I'd like to bring.
it's
it up.
not a sport. Trivia is not a sport.
Hey, they
What?
He's trying to
Spelling
think of
bee?
why trivia is a sport.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
this guy's taking too long to come back. His comebacks are taking too long. It took him 30 minutes to get the first good comeback.
He's thinking of one right now too.
No, I'm not.
Are you hosting the show?
I'm just
Do you want me to host the show again tonight? I can host.
Boone get it out. I'm letting Boone get it all out.
Do you need me to host the show again tonight? I can roll this thing off if you want.
No, I'm just letting you finish. Are you done?
Buddy, I've been done.
All right, let's get into some Bears. All right, is Ben Johnson copying the Lions practice? I mean, these offensive linemen are catching fucking passes. All right, this is what I see on my timeline. It's the same shit the Lions do. Is it not? Have they not done this before?
Every year.
All right.
This is tough. Oh! Who was that? Darnell, right? Who was that? Who's 72?
That was, I think,
Probably Colson Loveland, to be honest.
All right, let's not do that. Come on now. Respect.
6'7" can move now. Big boy.
Yeah, I'm not going to go as far to
is.
say that this Ben Johnson thing is going to be like Patricia leaving Bill Belichick. I don't think that's not
Josh
going to
McDaniel, possibly.
No, I'm not going to go down that route. I think he's a first-time head coach. He's first-time coordinator. I think naturally you're going to take, look at Dan. He always talks about Bill Parcells, how he had an influence on him. I don't think it's a bad thing to take a couple things. Yeah, offensive lineman catching passes, I don't think is a Lions only thing. So I'm not going to act like, oh yeah, Ben, he just can't find his own drills. He just has to do the Lions, everything the Lions. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just
Sure.
he's going to take a couple things. Yeah, you think the Lions are the only team that has offensive linemen catch balls? You know what I mean? No.
No, I don't think so. Sorry, I read a comment. I need to lock in. No, I don't think so.
You want me to host the show, or what are you doing?
You are hosting the show. You're doing a great job. I appreciate you a ton, man. No, the thing with this, I don't think he's copying. Yeah, it does feel a little bit though, maybe where Ben's trying to. I don't want to say copying is the word. Replicate.
There you go.
Replicate what the Detroit Lions, what Dan Campbell did. And I'm a firm believer in this. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because we did see, you guys brought up some good examples. Josh McDaniels, Matt Patricia going to different spots, trying to do exactly what Bill Belichick did and put that into place. We've seen a lot of coaches try to do what their predecessor, or not their predecessor, but who they were. Yeah, I'm dialed in right now. But who they kind of coached under, what they did and had success with, and then you see them fail. I think one of the biggest things is, yes, you can take little pieces and parts from the program you were at before, but I think you have to establish your own culture, and you have to establish who you are and what you're about, and your own creativity to everything. And I think that's a big deal. I've seen it with a lot of different coaches that I've been around, coaching basketball. You see them, try and do it the way the person they were with did it, and just, you know what I'm saying, boys. And you have to have your own twist of things. And I'm not saying it's going to happen with Ben Johnson, but there is that side of it. It's hey, is Ben just going to try and beat Dan Campbell? How Dan is Dan's a big kind of not angry dude, but tough. Ben can't be that guy. He can't go out there and try and just be that tough coach. Go be Ben Johnson. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think there's a worry in Chicago, to where, at least for me, my mindset, the way this whole thing goes wrong in Chicago would be, yeah, Ben has the offensive mind, this, that, but he tries to be exactly who Dan Campbell is, and he's not Ben Johnson. And then when I see these videos a little bit, yeah, Ben ran the offense last year, so he did these drills with his offensive line. This was just the first time it kind of initially hit me where I was like, I'm actually interested to see if Ben tries to be exactly like Dan, like some coaches do, or if he just goes and takes some things from Dan and he's Ben Johnson and creates his own culture. Because I think there's a big difference in it, man. And I don't think you can have success if you try and be someone else. I really don't.
I agree with you. And I think Ben has enough awareness to realize that he's not Dan Campbell, and he's not going to be Dan Campbell, because I think every NFL coach besides Dan Campbell can say that, because Dan Campbell is one of one. There's no coach in the NFL, but I do think there's some concerns about, you're in Chicago, right? And they have truly, since Mike Ditka, I'd probably say, I'd give Lovie Smith some love there. Had like a true head coach. Matt Nagy, I think, was the closest thing they had to it. But I do think there is some concern. Doesn't mean it's a lock to happen. Whereas, is he a Mike McDaniel? Where I know Mike McDaniel's a little goofier, but more so saying he's an offensive mind, and he's an elite offensive mind. But when shit starts hitting the fan in the locker room, especially in Chicago, where there's going to be a pressure cooker immediately, like week 1, if they don't win, and then you lose week 2 to Detroit, obviously you got the whole season, but immediately there's going to be questions about Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams. There's so many eyes on this team that at some point there's going to be a bad stretch in the season for the Bears. Yeah. I don't think the Bears are going to be winning the NFC North. I think they get 3rd probably in a close division. It's not going to be far off a 2nd. It's not going to be far off a 4th. But there's going to be a bad stretch of games in there at some point. Is Ben going to be the type of guy to put his foot down and say, hey, this is how we fucking run the ship, learn from what Dan Campbell did do in his own philosophy, but will the players actually recognize that and respect that? And I think normally you'd say yes, but at the end of the day, like, think about if you're an NFL athlete, if you're DJ Moore, if you're Darnell Wright, are you looking at Ben Johnson when he says something the way that you're looking at Dan Campbell? Even somebody who's not a former player, like when Sean McVay says something, there's no like you're fucking listening, or you're getting you're getting traded. Like if Sean McVay says something, that's how the way it is. And obviously, it's like that in every NFL team. But does it resonate with the players how it should? And that's the
Can I say this
question surrounding Ben?
With that, I don't think it has it like you said, Klotz. It has nothing to do with whether former players. I think it's just more so just. If you're genuine about it, right? Like I think that's the biggest thing is just a coach being genuine. Like Sean McVay, Mike Payton, like these guys had to start at the beginning somewhere. But when they started and they got their first go around, did I say the wrong? Sean Payton.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton. It's on me. That's funny. Shout out Mike Payton, man. But they had to start somewhere, and the way that players trust them and are like, yep, this guy's real, just genuine. And listen, I know people in the chat, well, it's a nothing burger that ETN said. Like, yeah, the video is a nothing burger. It made me think that's the only way I think Ben Johnson kind of falls apart in Chicago is if he ends up trying to be like Dan Campbell. I don't think that's being like Dan. That kind of sparked the thought process in my mind that could be the downfall for that man in Chicago.
Yeah, I think it could be. I'm not too worried about it because from what I've read in Chicago, he's been fiery and that's kind of who he is. But that's who he was in Detroit. Remember at practice, he used to yell and get on people right away. Like at least from what I've read, I haven't seen a different Ben Johnson. So as long as that continues, then
as long as he's him, be Ben.
Yeah, just be Ben, which I'm sure
Don't
he's,
be Dan.
like he said, self-aware enough to know. Well, hey, PFF came out with the cornerback rankings, top cornerbacks in the NFL. And then I want to show you a top cornerback duo list, and we can talk about DJ Reed and Taran Arnold. But first, let's get to some of these corners where they rank on this list according to PFF. And the first one on the list is the obvious Sauce Gardner. I think the only person I would put here instead would probably be Patrick Surtain.
I don't know, and Sauce is great. I don't know how you don't have Pat Surtain at number 1 after last season. Like Sauce is a good corner.
Yeah, he won Defensive Player of the Year.
Here. Yeah, like he won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he's 2. I mean, I'm not.
That's just like Sauce is great, but I think it's not even a question that Pat Surtain is better as of right now. But one spot.
Yeah, I get the Pat Surtain stuff. I think it's him or Sauce.
They really just did it because of his PFF grade. That's it.
Yeah, you put Pat Surtain there because of last year. But Sauce is 2. It's one of the two.
Yeah, these are the two best corners in the NFL.
Not too far behind him. But actually, Trent McDuffie's 3rd. I like Trent McDuffie, but I think Stingley should be 3rd, to be honest.
That's what I was going to say. Or Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson's a monster, too.
Yeah. And then number 4, look at there's Jalen Johnson and Derek Stingley. Those two are on here.
Fair.
So these so far, I mean, it's on brand. It's just some of the best corners in the league.
Probably just the top 5 guys.
At
Move
6,
them how you want.
DJ Reed is on here.
Oh.
What?
I love this.
All right.
Love this.
It says Reed has yet to become a household name. Booner. Agree.
Yep, he will be.
at the position, despite excellent play in several seasons. His PFF advanced coverage grade over the past 2 years ranks 5th, while his 89.3 standard PFF coverage grade ranks 12th. Reed has put together 6 straight seasons of earning a 70 plus PFF overall grade.
Well,
So
all right.
let me see who's behind. Let me see who's under him. So he's got Marlon.
You know what?
Marlon-
Yep, perfect.
Christian Benford, okay. Jair Alexander, okay. So now Denzel Ward, okay, he should be probably higher. That's crazy. But I
I
guess
think
last year-
DJ's in a perfect spot. Non-biased opinion.
Yeah, I think he's. I think he should be lower than 6. I think
Yeah,
Christian
probably.
Gonzalez should be up here.
Yeah, that's who I was.
Yeah, Christian Gonzalez.
Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah,
He's an
you
absolute
probably
dog.
give him the nod to Marlon Humphrey. But
You don't like Marlon Humphrey? What do you have against Marlon Humphrey?
no, I said you can move Marlon Humphrey
Oh,
up.
okay.
I don't think he's as good as he was a couple years ago, but he's still really good. I think he's still good. I'm trying to think of any other corners.
We'll scroll down. See, is there any more?
Ron Witherspoon, Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah, I mean, you go down
Definitely.
Benford, Jair, Denzel Ward. You get to 11, Cooper DeJean. Wow, okay, is a you got a rookie out here.
Cooper did have a pretty good year, though. To be
He did.
fair, so you can't. It's hard to be like even rookies. It's tough after year 1, but if you had a good year, you had a big year.
Yeah, I mean, you got Devon Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez. I think he should be higher. Definitely higher.
Gonzo's a beast.
Jalen Ramsey, Ward, like Chardavius Ward should be higher. Quinyon Mitchell. Yeah, I'm not doing maybe a couple of spots. Jamel Dean.
Is like Taran on this list at all? I didn't see the end of this.
Well,
list.
Carlton Davis is 18th.
Carlton 18.
Which
Listen, I don't think
it's a little disrespectful, I think, a little bit.
I don't know. I'll say this with Carlton. We all said it in free agency that he was kind of on the same level as DJ Reed. Carlton had good games, but he also just didn't do much in some games. And he gets hurt. Like, it was just like that's why I liked I think Carlton's a good corner, but being like top at 20, all right, yeah, fair. Like when he's playing, it was the same thing last offseason when he was coming from the Bucks. Even Bucks fans are like, when he is playing at a high level and is at his best, he's a top 10 corner. But when he's not, he's outside of the top 10 and he's struggling a little bit. And it was like there were games in Detroit where he looked like a top 10 corner, and there was games where it was like, hey, he's probably top 20. And I just don't know if the consistency. I think that's the difference between in the top 10 and not, is being consistent. And I haven't watched DJ Reed as much as probably I should have with film with him signing with Detroit. But my guess is the reason he is highly graded in PFF and why he's higher on this list was because DJ Reed is just a very, very consistent, not just not a great corner like some of the top 5 guys, but he's very good, more consistent than a guy like Carlton Davis. That's my takeaway from it. That's kind of my guess on it. I need to watch some more DJ Reed film to see comparing him to Carlton.
DJ's good, but it's the question of is it DJ Reed's too high or is it Carlton's too low? Because they're probably on the same level. Like I would say DJ's too high. I have Carlton as a top 15 corner. I think DJ's probably right around there, which is fine. That's still good. That's not a bad thing.
I think you could argue DJ at the bottom half of the top 10, probably early teens. You could argue that. I don't think
I'd say early teens, because I think the thing with DJ Reed, again, very, very good corner. He's never been able to consistently be that corner number 1. He's always been like that Robin, and he's been the best Robin in the NFL some seasons. When you look at Carlton, when he was in Tampa Bay, number 1 corner. When he was in Detroit, number 1 corner. So he brings that upside. But to your point, and we talked about it yesterday, Boone, just with the secondary as a whole, yes, Carlton Davis, I would say, is more talented, especially with intangibles of frame. But if you're not on the fucking field during the playoff game, during week 18, when you need to be at the Minnesota Vikings, you got Justin Jefferson on that side of the football. If you're not on the field, you could be as talented as you want. Give me the guy that might be 2 spots lower than you and is going to be healthy and is going to be making a difference with Meek Robertson and Taran Arnold, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. So the talent, I would go slightly Carlton Davis. But who would I rather have on my team if I'm paying them north of 16, 17, $18 million? DJ Reed 10 times out of 10. That's why I think, like when we talked about the Carlton Davis, they traded a 3rd-round pick for him. So, yes, you're giving up a third-round pick, but there was 1 year left on the contract, and you're hoping if he stays healthy, if he plays good, hopefully we can extend him. You didn't really pay for what you wanted to get. With DJ Reed, you signed him to a 3-year deal for solid money. It wasn't top-end money. You're getting a bargain for him. You paid DJ Reed for what you're going to get out of him. He's going to be a solid starter for you for at least 2 seasons. Might get a little older than that last year, but that's why he got in this rake straw. So DJ Reed is one of the more consistent corners in the NFL. And if you're consistent at what I would say is probably the hardest position to be consistent at besides cornerback, you're going to be around the NFL for a long time like he has and be a good corner.
Yeah. By the way, too, like to your point there, Klotz, because I think you made some good points. The one thing I would say, though, is like DJ, like you're saying, you know how you say like Carlton has been the number one. DJ hasn't. He's been the best Robin in the league. I think it's hard to say. Like DJ Reed's kind of in his prime right now. He's at that age to where it's like, hey, this is where you should be playing your best ball. He's been playing essentially with the number one corner on this list. So he was never going to have a chance for people to look at him as CB1. Now in Detroit, this is the first time at the level he's at in his career where he's going to be looked at as that CB1. And he's going to be able to go out there and potentially make more plays, like or lock, better players up and kind of prove himself. Because in New York, yeah, I know that sometimes they played sides of the fields, but he was, if they had a big matchup, I'm guessing Sauce was taking that matchup a lot. We did see some film of DJ Reed on some bigger time players, but consistently, like here in Detroit, you would think that's going to be a lot of DJ Reed matchups, especially when you put the tweet out with all the wide receiver ones they're going up against. So he's going to have an opportunity. He's never had the opportunity to kind of prove himself versus these wide receiver ones and go out there and be like, hey, I actually am a top 10 corner in the league. So I feel like if a guy gets an opportunity, it's, hey, he's finally a CB1. He's probably been waiting for this for a couple of years now since he's been with Sauce. And hopefully he kind of, he steps into that and is like, I'm ready to roll, boys. But yeah, I think if you want, he's 6 overall. Like that is pretty high. I would say if you threw him from 9 to 12, 9 to 13, 14, I would just,
I think that's
good
fair.
spot.
Now, the question is, what is the potential of DJ Reed and Taran Arnold? Because I have this cornerback list, the duos. This is another PFF graphic, but you check out the duo list here. And these are the top duos for cornerback rankings.
I don't know. We're talking about, because you're going to say Derek Stingley and Kamar. Jeff, I don't know why you haven't circled your wagon on Kamar Lassiter more. That dude went off this year. That was like your guy for the Lions last year.
Yeah, he was. He had 2 picks against the Lions, I think.
He did.
Yeah, he's a good player, man.
Who was your corner in the draft before?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm just joking. It was a joke.
Him and Kool-Aid were his guys.
Yeah, no, I was saying the year before it was I can't remember the guy's name. That's why I was asking.
Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah, and he just kept getting cut.
Yeah, that was a tough. He was so great at Ole Miss.
He was.
Or that was Mississippi State, actually. Yeah. Excuse me.
He was very good.
But he led like the conference in pick sixes. I mean, it was bad. But yeah, Kamari is what he is at Georgia. I mean, he was sticky at Georgia, dude. He was great in coverage. It's just what he is. So, I mean, yeah, I love that duo. I mean, you got Stingley and Lassiter. It's a great duo.
PFF?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm interested why. I guess they don't have Taran. They didn't have Taran in the top 30, so I guess that's why. But I would think after the end of this year, and I've been pretty solid on this, I think Tarian's going to be a Pro Bowler. I think he ends up taking a big step this year. I think he has the talent to do it.
I think he's a Pro Bowler this year.
I've said it a month ago. You just don't listen to me sometimes. I guess by that reaction, you don't listen. Klotz is listening. I think the thing is, when you look at some of these corners, like when corners take these steps, guys talk about all the time. It's that year 1 to year 2 jump. If you have the talent, the skill set, you take the jump. Like to me, like Emmanuel Forbes, Jeff, that man just didn't have like the body. He didn't have anything. Like he's just too small for the league. Taran, he's a
former safety.
He's a big dude. And he has the skill set. He has the mindset. He has everything that you look in for a guy like the Derek Stingleys, like the Quinn Yans, like the Devon Witherspoons, Tariq Woolens, like those guys. Like he has that. It's just about, and I said it when I did the breakdown a couple weeks ago. It's literally just about him getting his feet wet in the NFL and learning the game a little bit more and cleaning up a couple things. And I gave you the stats last year. Out of the first like 7 or 8 weeks, he had like 12 penalties, whatever it was. And then the rest of the year, like the 12 last weeks, he had nothing. Like he had like 2. So it's like he's starting to get it. I think this year 1 to year 2 jump for Taran. I legit think with his skill set and what he can do, I don't see how he doesn't have a big year. And like kind of like welcome to the NFL. I'm Taran Arnold and shows everyone that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been consistent on it, especially because we're getting into that conversation where it could sound like you're talking bad about somebody. But I think if you're looking at Taran Arnold in year 2, after you trade up for him in the first round, that should be your cornerback 1 or going into this year. And if you look at the Pro Bowl guys last year coming out of the NFC, Jalen Johnson, I don't think he's going to be on Jalen Johnson level. But then the next couple of guys, Byron Murphy, J.C. Horn, Devin Witherspoon. Do I think he could be Devin Witherspoon? Won't give him that. But I think when you look at the other guys, like even J.C. Horn has been very good, but he's been always banged up. And then even when you go look at Byron Murphy last year for the Vikings, like Byron Murphy was kind of in that same spot with Taran where he struggled for a little bit. I would say longer than Taran. It finally clicked for him when he went to Minnesota, and he did that in a contract year. I do think that Taran Arnold can be to that level of a Byron Murphy, and especially if Hutch is healthy for a year, Brian Branch is playing better, Kirby Joseph, we talk about Jack Campbell. The only thing that's stopping Taran Arnold at this point is himself, because I think the coaching in Detroit is up there with the best in the league. I think the talent that they have, we'll get into a segment later talking about the roster, top of the league. You can see that Taran, we talk about it all the time. We harp on it. He's in the proper place to make a play. Panics a little bit, and that's normal out of a rookie. Year 2, got a lot of good wide receivers coming up. Could he struggle a little bit early on? Maybe, but I have confidence, and I'm sure Taran has the confidence in himself, which he shows consistently, that he's going to bounce back and just start making plays. I do expect him to finish this year with an interception, which he didn't last year, which me and Jeff were banging on every week. It's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if he has 2 or 3, even maybe 4 if he's really balling out this year, because this defense is just going to be a little bit better on paper, obviously, because of the injuries. But Taran as a whole, Boone, you're right. Year 2 jumps happen all the time in the NFL, especially with guys like, you got to remember, like we talked about, Taran was a safety at Bama, converted to corner, so he doesn't have the experience at the cornerback spot as like a Christian Gonzalez coming out as a rookie, balling out. I know Quinion played at Toledo, but he's been playing corner. And it's not an excuse, but it's just a reason where it's like year 2, you can expect a lot more out of Taran.
Yeah, I think Taran improves. I don't think he makes the Pro Bowl, though. I think that because at this point, we're getting into the territory of this defense is going to have a ton of Pro Bowlers. Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
I don't look at it like that. I look at it, who do I think is going to take a jump and be better, and who's going to be that
that's
good?
simple.
I think there's guys who are going to take jumps on this team and not make a Pro Bowl. I just think Taran is one of those guys who just because you already have Pro Bowlers on your team doesn't mean other guys can't work and make the Pro Bowl. I don't think it's looked at that way.
Well, Taran Arnold, I think he gets better. I don't think he makes the Pro Bowl. I don't think there's I'm not saying that just because one player in your defense makes a Pro Bowl, it disqualifies every other player from making a Pro Bowl. If you took it that way, then that's fine. I'm saying that Taran Arnold specifically, I don't think we'll get a Pro Bowl, but because you named off the corners from last year, and I just don't see how. I mean, it's going to be tricky for him. If you're asking him to get a Pro Bowl, you got to get from Taran Arnold this year, I would say probably double-digit pass deflections, which I think he can do that. You're probably in the ballpark of 4 picks, probably like 3-4 picks, something like that. And we're talking about just getting 1 pick. You know what I mean? So I think for me, and you got to have a pretty steady level of play. I think he'll have improved level of play. I just don't think he'll make a Pro Bowl year 2. Darius Slay didn't make a Pro Bowl.
It's not
year 2.
crazy.
You know what I mean? Like it's okay.
Yeah.
That's not like a bad thing. Darius Slay didn't make a Pro Bowl, I think, till his 5th or 6th year. And look at it's freaking Darius Slay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think you need. Like the interception thing. I don't even think that's like a. If he gets 1 or 2, I think he could still get it.
Just creating turnovers.
Yeah, I think it's just more so as he making plays. Like I think towards the end of last year, you got to see him making a little bit more plays and kind of see the light a little bit. If he does that through a 17-game season, at a
But
higher
he also
level.
ended the game. He ended the year playing pretty bad too. Just no penalty.
Yeah, but again, like as a rookie, you're going to struggle. You're going to do good. You're going to struggle. The ups, the lights that and the positives we saw from him that people were waiting through the first 6 weeks when you finally started to see them. When you finally got to be like, oh, wait a second, Taran is actually like he can actually play. And it's just like, yeah, he's going to have another slip up in the playoffs, or he's going to, you know what I mean? He's a rookie still at the end of the day. So next year, you're sitting there, you're like, okay, now you expect all of those positives and everything that he did very well last year in those moments. You expect him to do those throughout all 17 games because he is no longer a rookie. He had an off season to kind of look at the film, get better, go out there and work on what he knows he needs to work on, go through another training camp, do this. And now he's looked at it, it's like, hey, what you did last year in those big moments, we need those again every game. And if you do that, which he showed he can do it, you're up there with those guys now. You've taken that step.
I even think like week one, I understand there was the one, I believe it was against Tyler Johnson where he missed a tackle. But I think consistently throughout the season, like Taran against the run, coming up and making plays on RPOs, tackling wise, Taran, I think he has obviously can get better, but that's one part of his game where it's like, Taran's good there. He's going to be good against run support. That's where it's like, if he wasn't good against the run and he's struggling against pass, that's where I'm getting the Jeff Iafrate range. Obviously, one was in the beginning of the first round, one in the second. But as far as like, hey, this guy's going to be cornerback one, let's see some signs. You can come up and make some plays against the run. That's something to build off of.
All right, let's get to this PFF.
By the way, I'm sorry. Actually, let's just move on. I don't want to keep this going. This is too much. I had a stat. I don't want to say it.
What is it?
Me.
Real quick,
I was just gonna say, like Jeff brought up, like, hey, double-digit pass deflections. Like he had 10 last year as a rookie.
And what did I say after that?
I didn't hear. Sorry.
You don't listen.
I listened when you said that.
I said,
come on. When you said that, I went to go look at how many he had. Like, let's not
be. I said 10. I said he'll get double digit. I think he had close to last year, and you said he had double digits. So
like he had more pass deflections than Devon Witherspoon last year.
Yeah, but
the level of play.
There's
the level of play getting thrown to.
Yes. And in the interception thing, like J.C. Horn had one interception, but J.C. Horn was like locked down. So do I think he's locked down? I don't think so, but maybe he balances that with more picks. Okay. Maybe he gets more interceptions. Or if he doesn't get as many picks and they don't throw at him, then he could make the Pro Bowl that way.
He's going to be locked down this year. Don't worry.
But we'll see. PFF ranked rosters in the NFL. Talked about strengths and weaknesses. Check this out. Philadelphia Eagles, number 1. Biggest strength in 2024. Defense, biggest weakness in 2024. Passing game. All right, we kind of
for all those Jalen Hurts slappies, there you go. That's all.
Yeah, I mean 23rd among qualifiers in PFF passing grade despite an outstanding final 2 games of the season.
Yeah, because you don't have passing game in there as your weakness because you have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon coming on the backfield. You have them in there because of your quarterback.
You know what I think is going to be the scariest part about Philadelphia this year, especially because they have a good interior or defensive line? Jeremiah Trotter, Zach Bond, and Jahad Campbell. Like those three at the linebacker spot, dude, they're going to – that's where, they're losing some edge rushers. They still got Nolan Smith. They still got some other guys. They're going to be sending those linebackers all day, and they're going to have – Zach Bond and Jahad Campbell are going to be good in coverage. And, Jeff, you've been hyping up Trotter, but that Philly front seven is going to be good. But I agree, passing game's where you got to go for them. No other spot you can point out.
They have X Factor for 2025. Edge, Nolan Smith, rookie to watch, Jahad Campbell.
Yeah, there we go.
Both Georgia players, or Alabama player and a Georgia player. They talked about the lineup too. There's a lot here. I'm not going.
Yeah, that's why I put in the thing. There's a lot. We could just kind of go through them until the Lions, Ravens too. Obviously,
Ravens. Yeah, like they're number 2. By the way, this is roster ranking, strengths and weaknesses. So you kind of get to see some of it. Like the weakness for the Ravens, not much pass rush juice. Well, that's awesome. We can relate to that. Rookie to watch, Malachi Starks.
It's a good one for them, man. That's Lions. Such a good pickup. Lions 3. I don't listen. I'm telling you, I think they're top 5 roster where they should be.
Yeah, 2024 last year offensive line, which obviously that is no brainer. Biggest weakness, defensive line depth. I would say they got both these right.
Yeah,
I would disagree. I don't like boys. Like I know they got Panay, but we talk about the storyline of this offense is the skill players. Like
No.
We had 24 last season.
Last year.
Misread.
Yeah.
Because at first I thought the same thing. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe they wrote this article a week ago.
Last
It
year.
just got put out today.
These
Fair.
are
I'll
the
shut the
problems
fuck
from
up.
last year. Oh,
Yeah, you should.
And then X factor for this year: Aiden Hutchinson, rookie to watch, Tate Ratledge.
Love that. I'm starting to fall for Tate Ratledge every day, boys. Like it's. I think this guy's going to be so good. Jeff, I'm not going to name another Pro Bowler. I won't do it. I promise. But if this guy takes over at center and has a big year and this offensive line is buzzing again, he's going to be an alternate. You have to throw him in there.
If it was up to Booner, everyone on this roster would have a Pro Bowl. I think.
No, you know what we should do? We should go through the roster name by name.
We did that last year. We predicted the Pro Bowls.
And I'm not saying he's a Pro Bowl. I'm saying an alternate. Like, you know how they have like 6th alternate, 8th alternate, 10th alternate. He'll be an alternate if he plays center all 17 games. Like, he'll be like the 8th alternate. So he won't get in, but he'll be, hey, you were right there. You were top 10. You almost made it. That's not that crazy, Jeff. They had like 20 alternates last year.
Wait, it's fine.
Taylor Decker got his first Pro Bowl last year. Taylor
Yeah.
Decker had no business.
It's not that hard to be an alternate.
It'll be that, Boone, but it'll be
I'm
good.
just saying, it's not that hard to get an alternate. I think to become an alternate, you need to be like top 10 or maybe top 12 at your position.
So DJ Reed, just give him a Pro Bowl. Might as well.
I didn't say that. Listen, there's a difference. Klotz, do you understand what I'm saying? Tonight you seem a little bit more
Aiden
hearing it out. There's a difference between actually making the Pro Bowl and being an alternate. You understand that, right, Klotz?
I agree with you.
Okay, Jeff.
But at the end of the day, I think where Jeff's coming from, you look at if you go back and look at the 2024 Pro Bowl roster or 2025, Taylor Decker's on there. Like, you look back on the year, like, Tate Ratledge is a Pro Bowler.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be a Pro Bowler. But again, I think, like, you just look at the alternates. And, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if at the end of the year Tate Ratledge plays 17 games at center. This O-line, they're top 5 in rushing. And Tate Ratledge is the 5th alternate for the Pro Bowl at center for the NFC.
But they have the X Factor, Aiden Hutchinson, rookie to watch, Tate Ratledge. I think these are both good.
Spot on.
Great, yeah. I mean,
would you guys add anyone else who would be like honorable mention X Factor and rookie to watch?
X Factor, Chris Mahogany. I know it's not a big player, but or Tate, not Tate, fucking Graham. I think Graham, like if Graham is playing at a high level, that completely flips the script. Like at right guard, if he's playing at a Kevin Zeitler-esque level, the concerns that we have about that offensive line might not be there as much. But if he struggles,
you know what?
This offensive line's not going to be the same, like in a drastic way.
I would say X Factor. Well, it depends what you mean by like X Factor. Like Aiden Hutchinson is the X Factor. Like, I get it. But I like a someone that if they do perform could change everything.
Don't say it because I have one name. Wait, should I write it down before you say it? See, we have the same one.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
This is thrilling.
I mean, the X Factor for me would have to be Marcus Davenport.
Oh!
If Marcus
that's a good one, Hefe.
Yeah, if Marcus
Davenport
gets you 8-9 sacks, we're in a good spot.
That's who I was gonna say, Jeff. I like that. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But then it's like it sounds crazy because they have Aiden Hutchinson. The other one I would say would be Jack Campbell. I mean, you could say Jack too.
Yeah, I think
Jack
Marcus Davenport
like a very good linebacker, like not even very good, like elite. Like he's out there balling. I think it changes his whole defense, in my opinion. Like it can make them even better. So there's a couple guys.
I think the Marcus Davenport one's spot on. If out of anyone on the team, if Marcus Davenport stays healthy all game or all season and he's getting sacks, your defense is top 5 in the NFL. And like you know what I mean? You finally have that opposite edge rusher. And that's been like the issue.
Sorry, Phyllis.
Fumble.
Marcus Davenport can just stay healthy for 16 games. He can get you the production. But the problem is he just has to stay healthy for 16 games. That's the only thing, man. If he stays healthy, I think he can get you. I'll say a healthy like 6-7 sacks.
We actually had the this or that later in the show, and I put a Marcus Davenport one in there.
I like
I
that.
kind of did. You guys look at all of them?
I did. I don't remember all of them,
yeah.
but I remember that one. I thought it was a good
Kind of want to take them off. I actually just don't look at them, boys, because I want it to be a surprise. There's a couple surprise ones in there, fun ones.
Let's see what else they have on here.
Yeah.
Projected lineup.
Who they have at offensive line?
Yeah.
Oh, they have Frank in there still.
Oh, they got to change that shit. Yeah, and then they have Kansas City at number 4.
Fair.
We don't have to go through too much. And then number 5, they have the Buffalo Bills.
Guys, Bills also, by the way, too, just quick comment on both of those teams. Chiefs have a better roster than people think. I think people are kind of going into this year quiet on the Chiefs. I think they're getting all those wide receivers back. Like Rashee Rice is coming back, Xavier Worthy. They have someone else. Let me pull up their depth chart real quick. They had someone else. Who was it, boys? Do we remember? They added someone. The Chiefs.
They got that left tackle.
Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown.
Oh yeah, they did. He's back.
Yeah. They got Jalen Moore. They have some dude. They got Juju Smith-Schuster still. I know people don't like him, but I think he's a good fourth option.
For him.
Yeah, I think that's a great fourth option for them. And then Bills are at 5. Boys, the Bills roster. I don't know if you guys have looked at this thing yet. That defense, do you guys remember who they got on that defense?
I remember they got Bosa.
Joey Bosa's on that defense now.
And they had a good draft.
What do you guys think about this? Because I'm not saying that the Bills are bad. I don't think there's a world where you can look at the Minnesota's Viking roster. I know JJ McCarthy's there and say that they do not have a top. They have a top 5 offensive line.
Top 7 roster.
Top 5 offensive line, I think. The best wide receiver in football. I say best wide receiver duo. Aaron Jones, if you want to complain about him, fine, but I think he's a top 10 to 12 running back. The front 7 that they have, they just added Jonathan Allen to go with Andrew Van Ginkel, Jonathan Greenyard. And then in the back end, Harrison Smith, whatever, but then we talked about a Pro Bowl guy and Byron Murphy. I think that's a top 5 roster. That's why I think, if J.J. McCarthy is just a serviceable quarterback for Minnesota this year, they finish second in the division.
Klotz, I think there's a difference between top 5 and top 7, and I think it's just high-end players. Like they have Justin Jefferson. The Vikings have a lot of dudes that are really good. The Lions have a bunch of all-pro players. The Bills have a bunch of all-pro guys. Yeah, I just like a lot of these teams just have so many not just all-pro guys. I would put the Vikings at 6 or 7. With the Rams, I'll put them right there with the Rams, Vikings, Rams, Vikings.
Well, the Vikings are 8th on this list.
They should be higher. They should be top 7 no matter what.
Yeah, the Bucs are 10th. And then
it's a good roster.
Yeah, and the Rams are sitting at 6. So it's 6 Rams, 8 Vikings. 3 Lions. Ravens is there. I saw Baldwin Light said Ravens is too high. I kind of don't. I think the Ravens probably can knock them down a couple spots.
I think line nasty. The only thing that I hate about the Ravens is their damn receiving core. And I get it because Lamar is never going to be a guy to drop back 30, 40 times and slice you up.
Edge too.
Yeah.
Because they got Van Noy. He's fine. He's just older. And then they have
dude, they just have dudes all
Mike Green.
Mike Green. They just have
Mike Green hits.
That secondary. That's a scary secondary, dude.
You got your boy Nate Wiggins, Klotzy.
Oh, yeah.
They just drafted who's the safety they drafted out of Malachi Starks.
Oh my God, I forgot they have Kyle Hamilton and Malachi Starks.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be. I'm not mad at the Ravens being 2 because I just think again they have a bunch of stars on their team too. Derrick Henry, no one named Derrick Henry.
Yeah, we just skip right over it.
Lamar Jackson, no one's
going to have a year.
They still have Mark Andrews too.
Yeah. You see Adam Sandler?
That was sick.
Yeah.
Told Derrick Henry get $2K, put him in a movie.
That was so cool, dude. That's one of my dreams, dude.
I'm just finding out right now who am I drafted. Might be Derrick Henry. He's getting me 2,000. He wants to be in that Sandler movie. I'm telling you.
Draft Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, Derrick Henry just never gets hurt either.
That is a good point.
That's why I love draft.
Get that man 2K this year. Put him in a movie. The Sandman is. I love the Sandman. He might be my favorite actor of all time. Him and Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
Seth Rogen's.
He's up.
I would go Adam Sandler number 1 all time though. Personally,
I love Adam Sandler as a person. You guys are gonna flame me for this. I just think his early on movies are not that.
No,
funny.
That's the worst.
I just don't. When he acts like a normal human being, I think Grown Ups. great fucking movie.
No.
But like Happy Gilmore and like
You would need
Waterboy,
to name
it's
what
funny
movie
for a
you're
half
going at.
hour. But
Because
then
there's
it's like,
some good ones. You'd have to name. Give me
Billy
an
Madison is
example.
one of the greatest movies ever.
like
dude.
not Baby. Is it
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy? Great movie. Acts like a normal human being in it. Like when he acts like a
Dude,
normal,
you can't say
non-handicapped person.
The Waterboy's
Fucking
bad. That's
phenomenal
such
movie.
an
Yeah, that's
all-time
another
movie.
good one.
Klotz, he's playing a character. That's the point of like movies and the point of
That's why
Hollywood.
it's not. I don't want to make it an Adam Sandler thing. Like
That-
I
that
think
honestly,
Adam
Klotz,
Sandler's a great-
we
I-
have-
what I
no, no,
said
you
is
are.
I think those movies are not funny. I don't find those movies funny.
I've done shows and content with you for
Okay.
2+ years. That is your all-time worst take.
I don't.
All
I
time.
don't laugh.
And
I don't
it is
laugh at
by
Happy
a
Gilmore.
mile, dude.
Yeah.
Happy
Like-
Gilmore is hilarious.
They're gonna
That's
bring
all
out Happy
time.
Gilmore too. I'm not
Mhm.
watching it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Adam
Dude,
Sandler's-
Eminem's in it.
Yeah, dude,
Okay.
he hates Eminem
I mean,
too.
The big names are in
Everyone
movies
knows
doesn't make them
how-
good.
Because everyone knows how
This
all-time
is
that movie is.
Klotz. I'll tell you what, Adam Sandler's Mount Rushmore of actors. He's my favorite ever.
Great.
That is such a bad take from you. I
don't-
love you so much.
I
that
it
is
doesn't-
Bottom
it doesn't,
take.
like make me laugh. Like I don't
That's
think that
fine.
he's a
That's
bad
fine.
like his acting role in that very good. I'm not
He's
going to
great.
deny that. But when I'm sitting there, I'm not like.
why
I'm
do you gotta laugh
I'm
like that,
sorry, I'm
though?
not.
You don't have to laugh like that. You can just it's
Like
funny.
I don't
He's-
find it. I
if
don't
If it's
find it
not your- if
hilarious.
it's not your
Yeah, you
thing,
don't have to.
right. Yeah, you don't have to.
Like Billy Madison, I think that's one of the greatest movies ever, dude. That movie is so funny.
It's better than Waterboy.
Waterboy is all time. That's one of my favorite
Waterboy
movies
is
ever.
not
Little
funny.
Nicky, Edward in the chat. Little Nicky. Oh, underrated movie. Great movie.
I mean, Mr. Detroit. Hey,
He
Klotzy,
said,
these
"Go
are-
sit on that."
Dude, the Klotzy, the people are not happy with you. They're
Can we
not-
just pull up Adam Sandler movie? Jeff, you know what me and you should do one day? We should do like a video on the side, and maybe this is just for fun, and just do like, you know, like those rankings like that we did last year. Like we should just do Adam
Oh.
Sandler movies. it's like they're all just at the very top.
That's a great idea.
Like you know, like the Zohan. Don't mess with the Zohan. You guys
Yeah.
remember?
I don't know.
Such-
I don't know if I've ever seen that one, to be honest with you.
Oh, you would hate it.
that
He plays a
role.
different character. Little Nicky, Anger
It's all right,
Management,
Bucky.
great
You know what?
movie. Oh
It's
my
fine.
gosh, dude.
Like
You
the
know,
only I will say this, the only actor that I find funny in roles like that is Jim Carrey. Like with Ace Ventura.
well, yeah,
those are
Jim
kind
Carrey.
of and it's like it's not even against Adam Sandler. It's those type of movies, they just make my brain bored. Like I can't pay attention to them for a long time. Like I just feel my brain just like like my mouth opens. I'm just like
I don't trust Klotz with movie.
Yeah,
movie
he's just
like
very
Rex
dude. He's
anymore.
just versatile. He can do.
Yeah.
he's very
absolutely.
good at
That's
everything.
he's an amazing. Like that's why I
You
do
know what I
not
mean?
want it to be an Adam.
He's
Sandler.
done
It's those
Love
type of
50
movies.
First Dates.
Another great one, and then he did
Oh
a
my.
whole different vibe for that one. And it
Yeah, that was like a love movie, man.
That's
Like,
like a
he
good,
can-
what's the like the movies that like he acts
Click.
like a normal human being and doesn't act like he's dropping IQ. Funny.
Click. All time. That's one.
But
of my
like, you're like
favorites.
dropping IQ. He's playing a funny character. It's not him like
So it's not an Adam. You
The
guys are
Wedding
saying
Singer
that
all
it's really
time,
dissing
all
Adam
time.
Sandler.
dude. You know what, Jeff? I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've never in my life wanted to mute someone on our show so bad than Klotz right now.
Wedding Singer.
Never.
Yeah.
But you guys are making this turn into like a strictly an Adam Sandler thing.
No,
Like
no,
Adam
it's
Sandler's
not.
like-
No, I'm
but
saying
it's-
you laughing. Like if some of these movies, you need to go like click,
Yeah,
watch that shit.
You have to go wa-
I've seen Click, but for example, Dumb
Great.
and Dumber, terrible. Like in
I
my
love Dumb
opinion.
and Dumber. I had
Stupid movie.
deluxe.
So
I had the
stupid, and
deluxe.
I like Jim
deluxe
Carrey.
DVD. I had the
Dumb and
deluxe
Dumber is
DVD
a
edition.
stupid movie.
Okay,
Movies
Both
like
of 'em.
that are just
I'm
dumb.
going to jump in on that.
I
didn't
like
really
Dumb and Dumber because I watched it growing up. It might not be good,
wasn't
but I
a huge
liked it.
Fan of it either, if I'm being honest.
That's fair for you guys, but I still can't like not liking Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore or not liking Waterboy, one of the greatest sports movies of all time.
Waterboy by choice. No, oh my god, no, it is not,
Dude, it's so iconic, dude. Waterboy is so iconic.
No, you
No,
like Jim Carrey.
Airheads,
though, right?
oh my gosh, have you never
I
seen
just
Airheads?
I just defended Ace Ventura 30 seconds ago. I just brought up another example of like a movie.
But that's
like
the thing. It's like
Waterboy
you're
is,
like it's
Dumb and
not
Dumber,
a.
don't
But
like
you're like it's not an Adam Sandler deal. It's just when anyone plays characters like that.
Hey,
But Jim
Bruce
Carrey,
Almighty.
Almighty, dude, he
all
like
time.
all time.
Heaven Almighty.
Yeah, those are good movies.
Yeah,
they're not
I
acting
agree.
they're not doing all that.
Okay.
The Mask. You guys remember The Mask? That was such a
Good
wild
movie.
Dude, me and my
I
brother.
mean, if you like The Mask,
fuck
you
the
should
whole
like
time.
some of these other Adam Sandler movies. That's what's
I
crazy
do like
about
some of them, but the two
Fun
I
with
bring
Dick
up,
and
like
Jane?
Waterboy and the
You guys
one
ever seen
where
that?
does he act like a normal human being that has?
In The Mask? No.
You get what I'm saying, though. He doesn't act like he's struggling to breathe air, or if he's breathing out his mouth severely. Like, he doesn't act like that.
I'll stand by. This is like your worst take ever.
I'm fine with that. Subjective.
I don't
Longest
know what
Yard,
it
great
is.
movie. Somebody's like I. That's one of my favorite childhood movies. Longest
Oh,
Yard.
I'm watching a good movie. Actually,
Longest
no, I'm
Yard is
watching
better than
Tires.
Waterboy 10 times out of 10.
Well,
Man, we just
Trey
gotta-
said I'm with Lucas. Trey, you're getting blocked.
See, it says like
Trey in
Adam
there.
Sandler is 98%. I'm not saying that. That's not what
More?
I'm saying.
Come
I'm
on.
saying
We gotta
those
move on. We
movies-
gotta move on. Can we do
Alright,
this or
those
that?
movies are
Can we do this or
bad.
Yeah,
that?
let's go.
I might have a heart attack live on
Go,
it.
take it. Go. You can do this or that. Let me hear what you got today. I'm
All
fired
right,
up.
this or that. This is like a little off-season edition kind of season. It's just a bunch of random ones that we have rolling here. What does it say, Lucas? Yeah,
it.
Lucas
Anything
is
that
like,
makes
don't
you
ever
laugh.
smile or laugh. Kind of. He's not wrong.
All right, let's go.
Anytime I'm happy, Lucas just shuts it down. Stop smiling, Boone. All right, sorry. All right, this or that. Can we get some music playing?
Oh yeah.
Can we get?
Hold Wait, I don't have. What is that?
I was trying to get some music rolling here.
Let me see. Oh, I got the. You know what? I was gonna do this, but I'm gonna keep it a little more.
I might not be able to hear it. Oh, I can hear it.
There we go.
All right, there we go. Perfect.
Oh.
All right, this or that. Detroit Lions, kind of like NFC North, because there are some random ones mixed in there. But these are ones that we really haven't talked about and things that we haven't talked about that I just kind of, in my mind, I wanted to see where the boys stood on if this conversation out where it would be. The first one we have is the Jared Goff one. Jared Goff, this or that. Jared Goff this season to throw 35 plus touchdowns, or Jared Goff to throw 15 plus interceptions. Remember, he had double digit
Oh.
last year. He had 37 touchdowns last year, and he had, I think, about 11 or 12 interceptions. So it's kind of
Okay.
right in the
This is gonna be an easy one for me, I think. I'm gonna go with the 15 interceptions. I think he gets around 35, but if you're asking me what's more likely, Jared Goff throws 2 more interceptions, or does he just keep that same level of touch? I think touchdowns are more likely to drop a little bit. With that, there's not going to be as many shootouts, better defenses. We talk about the games on the road, good DCs. Give me Jared Goff with a few more turnovers and a few less touchdowns. Again, this offense is going to dip a little bit. It'll show in statistics. Doesn't mean Jared Goff's going to be turning the ball over every game. More likely to throw more interceptions this year than touchdowns. Not as a whole, but just
I'm. This is where I'm gonna lean with the 35 TDs. I think.
Talk to me.
Because I think this offense with the offensive line, you'll be in situations where, I don't want to say this, like, there may be situations where you're down in the game, you're facing some tough teams, you're going to need Goff to make some plays. And I think he comes through. I think last year he had obviously the career high and he played really well. I don't know if he'll get that high, but if he does get 35, would I be shocked? No, I wouldn't. He's playing at a high level right now, and they're going to lean on these weapons. So
Yeah.
I don't think he throws 15 picks. He might have less than 35 TDs, but I'd still think he'd keep the picks down. I don't know, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, if I had to choose one, I'm going to 35 touchdowns. I don't know what it is. I feel like this season, do you guys remember that stretch of football 2 years ago where Jared was like very conservative, playing good ball, but he was just not throwing interceptions? I don't know why. It feels like this year, like knowing coming out of the NFC Championship game, he threw 3 or 4 interceptions, knowing he had the 5 interception game in Houston. I feel like this offseason, something he's working on is kind of eliminating those issues. Because NFL quarterbacks, they always find different, like, hey, how can I improve from last year? I feel like he goes into this year with the mindset of, I want to take care of the ball this year. Like, I put my team in a bad spot. I want to be able to take care of the rock and not put my defense in those positions, not give free possessions to the other team. So I think he actually, if I'm going to go out on a limb here, I think he has 10 or less interceptions this year. I do. I think he has 10 or less. I wouldn't be shocked if he goes into end of season has a single digit number in that interception column. So I'm going to go with 35 plus touchdowns. I genuinely do think he can get 35 this year, like 35-9, 36-9. I wouldn't be shocked if that's his stat line at the end of the season. All right, this one's a big one. And I'm going to change it up here, what I have in the thing, because it makes more sense. Or if you guys want me to, just let me know. I want to make it as close as possible to kind of make your brain work a little bit more. Jamison Williams, All-Pro, or Taran Arnold, Pro Bowl.
Okay.
Taran Pro Bowl for me. Not even close. You're going to have to ask Jameson.
That's a good question, huh?
Leading the team in receiving, be on like a Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra, St. Brown level.
Yeah, no, I don't know why I'm thinking.
We just brought up Byron Murphy being a Pro Bowler last year for the Vikings. Granted, I do think he had like 6 interceptions. But even like J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn's better. But do I think that Taran could take a J.C. Horn jump compared to J-Mo going to Jamar Chase? No, I don't think so.
Did Amon-Ra get All-Pro last year?
Yes, Amon-Ra was second team or first team. He was first team All-Pro last year.
He didn't have what he had. He already had one, but he had less yards.
He had like 11 touchdowns or something crazy though.
But J-Mo
Listen, you answer this question.
You know what? This is tricky. This is very tricky. I'm gonna go J-Mo because I think John Morton, he's dialed in. He loves him. I think he's gonna utilize him and put the ball in his hands a lot more.
That would mean J-Mo's the wide receiver one.
I'm just Taran. You gotta think of the verses though. Taran Arnold Pro Bowl. I just don't think
if
so.
Taran is the Pro Bowl, that means he's got to be the cornerback one of this team. What's more likely? Taran being the cornerback one and having a good season. Doesn't have to be elite lockdown. Good season. Or J-Mo surpassing Amon-Ra St. Brown as wide receiver one of this team.
100 yards.
Putting up like 1,200 yards. Well, Amon-Ra St. Brown, what is Amon-Ra going to have? 1,000?
Do I think this will happen? No. But what's more likely? A guy who needs 200 more yards. I mean, that's all he needs.
Listen. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm in this world.
He's in the race.
I'm in a world right now to where I wouldn't be shocked. Like I'll say this, J-Mo will be a Pro Bowler, and that's a lock.
That's fine. That's
a lock.
Okay. I don't agree with that, but continue.
J-Mo's going to be a Pro Bowler this year, and there's going to be an argument for him at the end of the year to be an All-Pro. I'll stick with my guns though. Give me Taran Arnold to be a Pro Bowler this year.
Like T. Higgins could have been an All-Pro any year on another situation, but the fact
I disagree with that point of yours, by the way.
I'm saying T. Higgins, if he was, think of a team that needs a wide receiver that has a decent quarterback. Like if he was in Arizona for the last couple of years, he could have easily competed for an All-Pro. But he's stuck in Cincinnati. We use that in a way, but he was playing in a Super Bowl with Jamar Chase and Amon-Ra. Jamar Chase statistically, go look at. I know Jamar kind of ran off with it this year. But up until this year, they were stride for stride for stride. And I don't see J-Mo ever passing Amon-Ra St. Brown yards-wise. And that's what he's got to do. Can I see Taran coming away with 4 interceptions and having a good year in year 2?
But here, I just think what's more likely. Never mind, we can move on.
Yeah, I got to cut you guys off here. The host is cutting you off too long on that one topic. Let's keep the next topics a little bit shorter, boys. Next one. Ennis Rakestraw in 2025 becomes a starting corner for you, or Marcus Davenport gets 6 sacks for the Detroit Lions in 2025. These are good, boys. Pick and choose wisely.
Give me Davenport 6 sacks.
There we go. I wanted Klotz to say it.
It comes down to health.
Love that.
That's strictly health. I think if he's able to stay healthy for 17 games, he can come close to 6 sacks. Ennis Rakestraw, you got to bank on him beating out Taran Arnold, Amik Robertson, DJ Reed, and then keeping that spot and playing at a high level in basically his rookie year compared to Marcus Davenport just staying healthy. So give me Davenport.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Plus, in Davenport's spot, it's not. I don't think it's as much as, like you said, a skill issue as it is just staying healthy. Ennis Rakestraw, it's more of a question mark. What is he going to look like in year 2? So I'm going to go with the guy who just needs to stay healthy, and he'll have plenty of opportunities. Marcus Davenport.
Yeah, give me Marcus Davenport on that one. I think Ennis has a chance to become a starter, but give me Marcus Davenport. I like how I forced Klotz's hand there. That felt really good. All right, this one. Detroit Lions are more likely to have a top 5 offense or a top 5 defense in the 2025 season.
Offense. I know their offensive line struggle, but we talk about these skill players. I know I said a second ago, I think it's more likely Jared Goff throws for 15 interceptions and 35 touchdowns.
And you're not that high on Johnny Moe.
I'm not, but I'm extremely this
and
offense is still going to be buzzing. I love Kelvin, but let's talk about, okay, how many all-pros are in each position? You have the best offensive tackle in football, top 5 wide receiver in football. And when you just got done talking about how you think it's more likely that J-Mo's an all-pro, we know how high I'm on Sam Laporta. Jahmyr Gibbs, do I need to remind you how high I am on Jahmyr Gibbs?
No, yeah.
Jared Goff, top 10 quarterback. David Montgomery, top 10 to 13 running back. Offense. Still top 10 offensive line, top 10 to 15. Lee McNeil banged up.
I think this defense, I think they got to be good. I think they will be good. But yeah, I'm with you. I was just testing to see if you'd switch. But I like the offense. Yeah, more likely. The defense, there's a lot more question marks there for sure. So I think they'll be top 10. But I think the offense will be closer to top 5 than the defense. So give me the offense.
Yeah, I'm gonna go offense too. I think the if the defense gets things rolling, I wouldn't be shocked. That's why I did it. I think there's actually a good conversation about it. All right, next one here. This is another big Klotz one. Jahmyr Gibbs to get what number should I do?
Do 2,000.
2,200 yards. All right, 2,000 yards or Sam Laporta to hit 1,000 yards.
I'm gonna go. Oh, Boone. I'm gonna go Laporta because of the offensive line. I think that makes sense in my head for a little bit. I think both are.
You mean
likely.
Rushing, right? Rushing.
I'm assuming.
Or yards.
Because say he had 2,000, close to it.
Yeah,
this year.
Boone. Is this rushing or all purpose?
All purpose. 20, let's do 20. Let's do 2,200. Let's do 2,200. 2,200. 2,200. That's why I did the 2,200 and the Klotz gave me
I'll still go with Jahmyr.
Okay.
He's. I know Amon-Ra great, but I'll still continue to say that Jahmyr Gibbs is the focal point of this offense. I think when you're a defensive coordinator, you game plan how to stop Jahmyr Gibbs before you game plan how to stop Amon-Ra St. Brown. But yet he still just makes play after play after play. And this is probably the highest usage we'll see out of Jahmyr up to this point. So give me Jahmyr, although I still think you boys know what I think about Laporta.
Yeah, I'm going to go Laporta on this one. I think Monty last year, he had 2,000 last year with Monty banged up. I think he's going to be healthy this season. He's going to chip at that production. He got 2,000, which was great, but you're asking for another 200 yards. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think with Monty there.
That's 7 plays for Jahmyr.
I get it. But I'm going to go Laporta getting probably another 150 yards than I already think he'll get. So that's fine.
You went Laporta, Jeff?
Yeah, more likely.
I'm going Gibbs. I'm going Gibbs. I'll go Gibbs. All right, next one. Switching it up a little bit. No Lions now. The Chicago Bears to win 10-plus games or the Green Bay Packers to win 13 games.
Oh. Give me the Bears.
All right, let's do this then. We're switching it to 12. Packers 12.
Still, give me the Bears. I look at I think, like I said, I think it goes Detroit. I think it goes Minnesota, and I think the Bears and Packers are fighting for the who's not going to be fourth. And it sounds bad, but I think the Packers last year, how many games did they win? 11?
They won 11, I think, last year.
11, and where did they improve? I don't see a significant upgrade truly anywhere on that defense or that offense. Matthew Golden for sure, but I've talked about how I think it's going to be a growing process just with that wide receiver core in general. I look at Chicago. They improved a little bit more, in my opinion, and I think that Caleb Williams is going to have a nice year, too. I think the quarterback play and coaching could be on the same level as Green Bay, and they got the better defense in Chicago. So give me Chicago getting 10 versus the Packers 12.
You chose right, Klotz.
Bears 10.
Yeah, you chose right. It's Bears 10. For me, it's one more win. So I'm taking that over the Packers winning 12.
So you're picking the Bears?
Yeah.
All right, this one here. This or that. Which player will throw for 25 plus touchdowns?
So this is gonna be golf. I'm excited.
25.
JJ McCarthy or Caleb Williams?
JJ McCarthy. I mean, the Bears have quite literally never had a quarterback throw for 30 touchdowns.
Caleb that had struggled last year, he threw for 20, so he only needs 5 more with Ben Johnson.
Correct, which is a great stat to throw out there. But Kevin O'Connell is a quarterback guru who also has to have TJ Hockenson, Justin Jefferson. It's one of the better skill groups in the NFL. Not saying that the Bears don't have a good one. In a dome, compared to playing in a windy city of Chicago, I do think that if we're talking statistics, we're talking data here. That matters. Give me JJ.
Jeff, I'll let you go.
Tyler just put it in. I think both will.
No, you can't. You can't say that. You gotta
what's
pick.
more likely?
We agree. We agree both could happen, but I'm going to lean. It's Caleb to me. I think
I'll be the tiebreaker, I guess.
Because there's no tiebreaker because I've been consistent with this with JJ.
No, I'm saying it's 1-1. We'll see on our throat who it's going to be 2-1.
I think Caleb's more likely with all those pass catchers. He's in year 1 of the system, but year 2 of the NFL. I have more confidence in him going out there with Ben. And I get it's Kevin O'Connell. Like, I do. I think that's going to give JJ, especially having Justin Jefferson. I'm going to lean. Even though I think both do it, I'm going to lean Caleb more likely. I do with all the because I would take the extra year. I'm not really sold on JJ. It's really his first year playing. So,
what do you guys think?
More confident Caleb.
Who do the people in the chat think I'm going to take to break the tiebreaker?
I think you're going to take JJ.
You had JJ.
I've been pretty consistent.
Second by the end of the year.
I've been consistent on both sides, but I've been giving Caleb a lot of credit.
But this would be a weird contradiction moment where you chose him to be the second best.
Let's not do that. I asked the chat and ask you, Jeff.
It's Caleb.
I'm calling it out. No, because we're all about that on the show here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Accountability.
All right. I'm curious. You know what? I will go JJ is the guy you think is more likely.
Yeah, that just sounds wrong.
You see my hat?
Earned it, Boone.
Give me JJ McCarthy. Give me the Michigan man. Give me the Minnesota Viking. Give me the man that has Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hockenson. Give me those guys. Give me JJ McCarthy that just had Sam Darnold, which let me just correct something real quick, Jeff Iafrate. Sam Darnold in his career, 17 touchdowns, 19, 9, 7, 2. And then he ran into Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. And somehow he went from 19 as a career high to 35. Yeah. Give me AJ McCarthy in this Minnesota Vikings offense.
Was kind of in the NFL for a long period of time.
I don't care. You're in that offense. What about the pass or not? He's good to go. Give me JJ McCarthy.
He's sitting year 1, but he's not physically out there.
You don't know what you're talking about right now.
Hurt. Mental notes.
By the way, breaking news. Can we hit the breaking news thing? Huge. This is big breaking news.
Hold on.
The Detroit Tigers beat the Cubs.
Great game.
3-1.
It was a little bit of a sweater there, too, because the Tigers could have ended on a double play, and neither of them were called out. I don't know who was for Chicago's on base, but could have been an easy, just quick turn 2.
The two best teams in baseball. For a big series, Scooble on the mound today gets it done after losing to the White Sox 2 games this week. That's a big win. Huge win. Torque home run today.
I don't know how they lost to the White Sox either, dude. Don't make no sense. Continue, FA.
It happens. Hey, how'd your
Jahmai Jones, too, by the way, hit a bomb. They were up 2-1. He hits a bomb. I think that's how you pronounce his name. First at bat with the Detroit Tigers in 2025. First at bat.
It's contagious.
And he just hits a bomb. He just steps in, boom, bomb. First at bat of the whole season. Just hits one. That's clutch. That's what you call a clutch.
We got to go out there, man.
I've been out to one already. We should go. You want to go Sunday?
Tigers game? I got to save. I think I'm in the apartment soon, boys. Went toured one. Liked it today. Right?
Oh, there you go.
Nice. There we go, Klotzy.
Hell yeah, Klotz. Let's go, baby.
Congratulations. Well, not yet, actually. I take that back until you
let's
find
not jinx it.
Yeah, we won't. All right. You got any more? You got any more of this or that question?
That is it for this or that. Thank you guys for tuning in. That was a fun one. I actually enjoyed that one.
I think that was the best one yet, Boone.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That one was
cornered me into a Marcus Davenport answer.
I really just thought what you two guys have been, your guys' takes have been over the last month, and I said, let me get them off their, put them on their heels a little bit.
Get backpedaling.
Yeah.
Can be Pat Surtainen.
AJ said first pitch for Jemai, I think. Let me see. Yeah, first pitch for him.
Can we go through the coaches on the hot seat? I've been wanting to look at this.
A little around the NFL.
I haven't looked at this list yet either.
And I want to see all these coaches on the hot seat because I've been staring at it, the prep, and I was like, you know what? I want to react to this live on the show when we see these coaches. So this is what PFF's top 10 NFL head coaches that are on the hot seat entering this upcoming season. First one, Mike McDaniel.
Fair.
Dolphins.
Very fair.
Very fair. Very fair.
Boone? You said
yeah, yeah. No, I thought Jeff was going. I think this is fair. Man, at some point you got to win games. You have to, and he just hasn't. They win, and then they just somehow find a way at the end of every season to lose regular season games, lose the division, and then lose their first game in the playoffs every single year. And there does come a point to where, injuries aside, all of that aside, you just have to get the job done because they went all in on guys like Tyreek, Jalen, Tua. Like they went all in on guys. This wasn't like a whole rebuild. This was a, hey, we have a roster now. We need a coach. Bring Mike McDaniel in, and he hasn't had success. So yeah, I think this is fair.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel. We talked about him earlier. Like he's just great, obvious offensive mind, but you got Tyreek Hill popping out a baby a month. It seems like down there. Devon Achane, probably their only consistent weapon. Jalen Waddle keeps getting hurt. Jalen Ramsey's a distraction off the field at this point. Jalen Phillips hurt. They lost Christian Wilkins, lost Javon Holland. I think Miami at this point, they tried to get a run going when they acquired all these players, but you look at Taran Armstead even retiring. They just need to cut ties with McDaniel, go back to a play calling position. Hopefully you can get back to being head coach, but Miami's probably going to be bad this year. I see them as like a 6-7 win team. And yeah, McDaniel's gone, I think.
Yeah, let's go to the next one here. Let's see who's next. So Shane Steichen followed.
That one hurts.
Mike McDaniel. It's
Shane
tough to win when
Steichen
you don't have a quarterback in this league. I mean,
Did you see Anthony Richardson again today or yesterday? The report out for minicamp.
Bro, Daniel Jones is going to win that starting spot. I'd put a good amount of money on that.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to automatically win it because Anthony Richardson will never be available.
They're going to be drafting a quarterback this year.
Yeah.
That was such a big swing.
Very early. I think the Colts, they'll win a couple games, but I think they're going to be pretty bad. We bleed blue. I think 5-12, 6-11 kind of year. I just think that's just what they need.
What's crazy is I always thought Chris Ballard was a good GM, and that was just such a big swing and miss with the Anthony Richardson thing, man.
I agree. That's like the one where you look at his drafts through the years.
He's been good, but that's like you can have one bad pick and it could ruin your career or your job security. And that was the one with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, you take a quarterback, you're on the hot seat. Yeah, if it doesn't work out,
it's gonna kill him because he's a great GM. I think he's put together good teams. So that just kind of hurts.
He'll get hired. I mean, if Shane Steichen actually got fired, he would get a job quickly. So
I would, if Shane Steichen gets fired, I would be pounding the table. Love Johnny Morton. You let Shane Steichen step in.
Yeah, agreed.
Why don't you leave the Johnny Mo show alone for a little bit, please?
Nope.
Brian Daboll.
Yeah, I would have fired him last year. I would have fired him in the GM. I think Brian Daboll's a really good coach.
I
Okay.
think it's over.
I think Brian Daboll would get a head coaching job instantly somewhere else. I just think in New York, you need a change. That's it. It's not that he's a bad coach at all. I just think you need a culture. You need something new in there. And that's just a personal opinion. He could end up working things out because maybe but like the GM there, Joe Shane, has been so bad. I think they had a good draft this year. I actually said I think the Giants are going to be better than last year. They're going to make an improvement. But at what point does the owner just be like, all right, boys, like if they're a bottom 5 team again this year, you just got to say, it's that time. Like we need a culture.
I agree 100% with what you're saying about the culture and how it needs to change. But I just think if you fire Brian Daboll, you're going to be looking for a Brian Daboll. I think you fire Sheen, but Brian, again, like he's the guy that they hired because they wanted him to turn Daniel Jones into Josh Allen. Daniel Jones wasn't his guy, and he's been having to work with Tommy DeVito, all these guys that have been coming up the ranks. They decided to not bring back Saquon Barkley. And the fact that Russell Wilson is not going to be a world beater, but I think Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart, that trio of whoever's playing gets the Giants to 7 wins. And if Brian Daboll can get that roster to 7 wins, you keep him, man. Because with him and Jackson Dart, you let him develop Jackson Dart. That's his quarterback. You give it to a little bit longer, but you fire Sheen, but you don't fire Daboll, in my opinion. But I get what you're saying, Boone. Like if you're the owner, it's hard to fire a GM and not the head coach as well. I just think Brian Daboll, if he lands somewhere with a good quarterback, you're going to be talking about Brian Daboll
Jackson Dart,
like a top half of the league coach. I think the Giants are going to be sneaky this year, boys. Not as far as like Super Bowl contenders, but I think they hang around we've been going at it. I think between them and the Cowboys, they're going to be battling for that 3rd seed in the NFC East. That defense is going to be good. Great front 7, Javon Holland.
Well, your guy, Kevin Stefanski, also on here.
Coach of the year, multiple-time coach of the year.
2-time.
Zach Taylor from the Bengals. Okay. I get it. They gotta do something. Brian Callahan.
I like Zach Taylor though. I like him. It's kind of like the Brian Daboll situation. Zach Taylor's a good coach.
I like him as a coach. I don't know.
Yeah.
Brian Callahan, I don't know what I like. He was under Zach Taylor.
I don't see how you put him on this list unless they go like 2-15 and Cam Ward sucks.
Jonathan Gannon.
I could see that.
Yeah, that's fair. Mike Tomlin.
All right, this one's big, and I agree with it too, because that's another team where the Steelers culture has been good for so long, but you can't tell me it's the same Steelers team that it has been. I think Pittsburgh has been dying a slow death, and if I'm struggling to see if they make the playoffs or not. They're so consistent at it, so it's so easy to say the Steelers are going to make the playoffs. But if you look at the Steelers, man, this is the worst team they've had in a long time.
I agree with this list. This rank, like where he's ranked or him being on the list. I think he's on the hot seat, if I'm being honest. I love Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
He's legendary. Okay. His legacy is solidified, but they've just been so mid for the last handful of years. And there's the same problems keep popping up. Like it's offensive line issues, quarterback problems. Like it's a lot of other things they can't figure out. And where the league's heading, I've said this before. If Mike Tomlin, he's a great defensive coach. A lot of defensive coaches, they struggle figuring out the quarterback and the O-line. For whatever reason, typically offensive coaches, you look at the O-line, the quarterback, they kind of have it figured out. You just got to go in a different. You got to move with the modern NFL here for the Steelers, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I think he'll get a job somewhere else, but I think it's time. If they don't, if they go 9-8, 10-7, make playoff, lose, you know what? We appreciate you.
Yeah,
we appreciate you, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I'm with it. At some point, the Mike Tomlin era is going to end. It has to. It's like with Bill Belichick. Like when that fall off kind of happened, it's a little different because Bill was winning Super Bowls and then they kind of were missing playoffs. But it's just one of those things where it's like it's such a hard thing to do because he is like he is like what your franchise is. But if you're a Steelers fan and you're just like, man, we're not moving forward at all. And honestly, I don't even think it's Mike Tomlin's fault. I think it's just that they are just so consistent so much. They haven't had an opportunity to have a top 5 pick to draft the quarterback. And I think that's where they've gone wrong, is they just have not been able to get a quarterback. That's all it is. Since Big Ben, they haven't found a quarterback. And they've drafted multiple. They draft Will Howard this year. We'll see what happens. They bring Aaron Rodgers. So it's just one of those things where it's like either they have to have a down year and then Mike gets fired, or their GM has to step up and say, hey, let's just take some assets, trade up into the top 5 and get a quarterback. Fired too. But because I think if Mike Tomlin had a quarterback in the defense that they typically have, I think Mike Tomlin can win a Super Bowl again. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's just that they don't they're just been so consistent. Like, again, you have to think this guy Mike Tomlin took Kenny Pickett to the playoffs. This man had Mason Rudolph go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
He has had the worst quarterbacks in the NFL go to the playoffs and win games. If you give him a legit roster and a quarterback, or not even, he has a roster, give him a quarterback. You throw Jared Goff on that team, they're having a chance to go win a Super Bowl. Throw, I don't know, who JJ McCarthy. I'm not JJ because that's a tough one.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, just throw any quarterback right now that's a Pro Bowler in that position, and they're probably going to have a chance to contend for a Super Bowl with the roster that they have. So I think it just comes down to that. I just don't think they have like that kind of side of things, which sucks because he's such a good coach. It's like a coach that might get fired or let go one day because he wasn't put in the right position.
That's tricky. Because I do respect and love Mike Tomlin.
That's where if they fire Tomlin, though, and Dable gets fired, they better hire Brian Dable. Just get somebody like Fitz, exact quarterback guy, gritty. Mike Tomlin can go to Arizona.
Mike Tomlin can go to Arizona. You'd have Kyler Murray.
Kyler should be fucking gone, too.
Todd Bowles is on here.
What? I was just about to have a conversation that Todd Bowles is probably the most underrated head coach in the NFL.
He should not be on this list.
No. What is No. Nope.
He should not be on this list. He has not like they're trying to make the case and say he's like Mike Tomlin. Not at all. Mike Tomlin's done this for like the last 11 years. Todd Bowles just took over 3 years ago?
Yeah, and he was winning games as the head coach in New York. The last time the Jets were in the playoffs, it was Todd Bowles as the head coach with Ryan fucking Fitzpatrick.
No, you don't let go of Todd Bowles. That's bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Etienne says Todd Bowles is low-key holding them back.
No way.
Yeah,
this one's tough. Raheem just got the job, man.
You know how I feel, by the way, about the Todd Bowles thing. Like, I like him, but I'm indifferent on that type of stuff because you guys know how I feel about modern NFL. So I don't want to say it. You already kind of know.
Dude, as Baker throwing with back-to-back OCs, Baker's playing the best football of his career. Mike Evans had that defense is elite. Tampa Bay is one of those teams where they could have whoever on offense. When Tampa Bay is good, it's because they have a defensive guy coaching them. I understand they had Bruce Arians, but they had Tom fucking Brady. Okay,
it's okay, Klotzy. Sometimes you're not going to have an umbrella in the rain. All right, that's what Todd Bowles has kind of had. Right? He's got good OCs. Things happen. Figures it out. Someday,
keeps winning division.
Keep getting hired.
Winning 10, 11 games.
They're going to keep getting hired away. And you're going to say, damn, I wish we had just a guy who could permanently just run this organization. They won with Bruce Arians, offensive guy.
What are you, I'm just confused.
Bruce Arians was a great head coach. He was winning 13 games with Carson Palmer in Arizona. Going to NFC Championship.
What's the argument right now?
Yeah, Bruce Arians.
What are you guys arguing?
Bruce Arians was an offensive guy.
What is the argument?
What is?
I'm saying.
He said yes. What's the argument? Yes.
Someone brought up the Todd Bowles thing, and I said, you guys know how I feel personally, because I wouldn't I'm not a big fan of those type of coaches anyway, because I said sometimes Todd Bowles. He brings in these great OCs, they get hired, and he's got another one. Is that always going to happen? No. And you're going to be in a Johnny Mo situation where you don't feel as good about that OC if you're a Bucs fan. It's like some
guess who was Todd Bowles' OC? Guess who was Todd Bowles' OC in New York? Guess.
Who?
Guess.
Who?
Johnny fucking Morton.
Exactly. So
You know what Todd Bowles did? They went to the playoffs. The playoffs in the AFC East with Tom Brady.
I'm telling you, it's fine.
Jeff had
You
nothing there. He just
no.
said, "I'm telling you."
It's not about that. Because if anything, that we like Johnny Mo. So our argument would be, yes, Klotz, he had another great OC.
Oh no, not out of mine. Maybe out of yours.
Then that's what be my response. Like, yeah, but let's see. Okay, is he going to have head coach tired away every year? Probably not. There's going to be a couple that are like, well, this guy stinks, and we're going to see what happens.
Out this year.
Yeah, Raheem Morris is not. I'm not going to sit here and try and defend. Like the Falcons thing. Yeah, I'm not doing
on
this
the hot seat.
By the way, Kyle Pitts, Jeff.
Are we ready to get down off that hill?
I think I'm climbing off. I think I'm not quite all the way off of it, like climbing down the hill. I'm still I'm working my way down.
They said he's in trade calls right now.
It's all right.
Kansas City should go get him.
It's okay. Why should Kansas City get him, Klotz?
Because he'd be better there than anywhere else. You're gonna work out somewhere. It's gonna be Kansas City.
And what would he be like in Kansas City? Let me know.
Probably like 600.
You know what?
Yard guy.
No.
But what'd you say?
600-700 yard guy.
Not bad.
Maybe 4 touchdowns.
I want to say this about Lukas Klotz. This guy names the most random teams for some players. It is incredible, just the thought process.
Kelsey getting old.
It is incredible.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. All right, drop your questions, man. Let's do mailbag.
Like the names linked to Kyle Pitts are, or the teams
Lions?
linked. The Steelers called to check the availability of Kyle Pitts.
They're getting Jonnu Smith.
Who else? There was another tweet that I just saw and I missed it. Hold on. I don't know.
Shout out ETN.
Oh, the Chargers called. The Jags called.
That'd be a good one. Chargers would be nice.
See, then he hypes him up. Oh,
like he'd be a good tight
Say
end
he
too.
would fail anywhere, Klotz. Stand on it.
Fail anywhere. No. You're like, you're acting like I think this man sucks. But you're over here. What did you say he was going to have? 10 touchdowns and like 1,000 yards last year?
I said 8 to 10, and I might have uttered 1,000. And
what was I saying? Like he's all about yards, but in the red zone, that ain't Kyle Pitts. That ain't like he's not a red zone guy. He doesn't separate. He's 6'5", 6'6", but he plays like he's 6'2".
I thought that would change.
Give me Jonnu Smith over Kyle Pitts.
All right. Ben Blue, mailbag. Let's say hypothetically Dan Campbell's unable to be the head coach for whatever reason mid-season. Who are you taking to be the interim head coach? Calvin Shepard.
This is such a bad question because it never happened.
Sorry, not
Give me Hank.
Scotty Montgomery.
I like Scotty too.
I think he is the associate head coach. I think he's like the next man up.
You know what? That's on me, Boone. I meant that Scotty's the one.
That's why you have me. That's why I get paid the big bucks here.
And the crowd goes mild on that one.
Crowd goes mild.
Wow, you really thought you did something there.
No, I'm just kidding. All right. Phil, mailbag. If MCDC cannot finish the season, might Ragnow be brought in? What does this mean?
Jeff, you just literally just pulled the same mailbag from the last question. He's talking about coach.
Question. Yeah, I guess.
He's talking about coach. He's saying Ragnow come in and coach.
Yeah. Jeff Saturday type of situation.
Yeah, that's the type of situation, yeah.
Motor City 612, appreciate the $5. Says, do the Tigers add a deadline to get the league above the league average payroll, or do we hope we are the 130th exemption, 29 of last 30 World Series winners above league?
I'll make a guarantee. Tigers make a move at the deadline.
Yeah, I agree. Love it.
They're going to bring someone in.
Have to.
Something's going to happen.
This is such a great point brought to the show. All right. This is well-researched, documented information here.
Yeah. Good job,
29
Motor City.
last 30 World Series
612.
Above league average.
Well, 612.
612. There we go.
I saw Nick, shout out Heavyweight, see Easy in the chat too, brought up the Chapman talk. Like if they were able to get a Aldous Chapman, fucking nicey.
Tyler 45 says, how many years until Ben Johnson gets fired?
Give it 3.
Yeah, I'd say 3 is about the right number. Jeff, you have to say how many.
It's gonna be a while.
Give him.
Think
amount
over
of
10
time.
years? Think he's all-time Chicago Bears
would
head
say
coach?
8 years.
Mike Ditka? 8 years?
8 years.
How long has McVay been with the Rams? Shanahan with the Niners? They're not getting fired anytime soon.
Oh my God. Okay. Xavier D says, mailbag, I'm just a kid from 8 Mile, but Jeff got called out by Booner for the first 20 minutes of the show. When is the throwdown?
Shout out Xavier D, man.
Hey, you know what? I took the bait today. Can't do it.
Reeled him right in.
Dude.
See, it's getting too easy, to be honest. I'm
Nah,
not gonna lie.
he's a rage
It's
baiter.
getting too easy.
You got. You know what, Xavier? There is no throwdown.
What? We're not gonna do some content?
Oh, we're gonna do some. I mean, what do you want to do?
Jeff just doesn't want to get in the ring, is what he's saying.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. No, it's cool.
wait,
No, we're good. Yeah, that's tough.
Hold on. We talking
Next mailbag.
ring?
Next.
Are we doing celebrity boxing?
No, we're not. He's talking about ring of the competition.
Oh, all right.
Come on.
I was gonna say, it's
Not what
celebrity
I was saying.
boxing. Phil, mailbag. If MCDC can, oh wait, that's the same one. Sorry.
Jeff loves this question, apparently.
Speak easy. Shout out easy. Mailbag is Lucas chilling with the boys tomorrow. Klotzy, we go to
I'd
you.
be able to make it up, boys. I might. Let me know, like, where and when. I'll let you know. I just got to be easy on spending money.
Bottle Ice is mailbag. When is the 24-hour stream?
Probably. I think we're probably gonna do it when we're getting close to 15K. So maybe when we're like 400 out of 15K to where we're going live, and by the time the stream's over, we hit 15. We'll do something. We'll definitely do something. And there will be a lot of different incentives for people. Easy's in the chat. Maybe Easy will be on there. That'll be his
Easy on there.
crunch time debut of Easy on our 24-hour stream. That'd be so
I
funny.
miss Easy, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a great time, man.
All right, this is a good question. Ben Blue said, Booner rage baits Jeff and the Doc rage baits Booner. Who rage baits the Doc? If I were being honest, I'm in a group chat with Jeff and the Doc. I will purposely throw texts in there to
I
get the
would
Doc
say
going.
you can get the Doc
Yeah,
going.
Booner does.
Yeah,
He's the
I-
rage
It'll be like 8 a.m. and the Doc will just send like one text or something, and I'll text Jeff and be like, "Watch this," and then I'll say something to the Doc. Doc will send about 40 text messages. Just
Oh, I love that, man, dude. It's
I
funny.
love getting
And
Doc
honestly,
going.
it's entertaining. It's one of the most entertaining things. You get the Doc, he gets you back. You guys go at it in the group chat. Then he starts just going off.
I just typically send something and put my phone down and let it just play out.
Yeah, that 24-hour stream, that would be fun.
It'd be a good time.
Yeah, that would be a good time. That's where you'll find. Yeah, we're gonna have so much stuff planned. Oh gosh,
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
especially
Awesome.
because Caleb. Oh my god, yeah, dude.
I'm trying to think of some. Yeah, it'll probably be in the next couple months. If we get to like 14.7, 14.6.
Yeah, we
say
just
we
keep
do it.
Yeah,
We
keep
roll.
pushing.
We find a day and we hit it, and we do 24 hours.
Ben Blue says got to have us call in during that stream. Oh, dude, that's
Yeah, we'll have-
gonna be the long. That'll be for for 24 hours. We can do a couple hours of that. You know. what I
Yeah,
mean?
we'll just.
Talk to the
There's going to be a
people.
lot of things. We'll be playing games. There'll probably be like incentives. So like if people donate, we all have to like do something. I don't know. I told you guys like the PMT guys did their 24-hour stream a couple years ago for Crit Week, and like Big Cat had to eat a hot dog for every hour, 24 hot dogs. Like, I might do that one. We'll do something like that.
Hot dog every hour. That's impressive.
And he did it different ways, dude. He did like 1 hour. He wanted a blizzard, so he put a hot dog in the blizzard and ate it. Like, he just did different ways, or something with the chat. He had to eat it with a blizzard. It was just someone ran a marathon.
Yeah.
Someone did a marathon on a treadmill.
Holy, that would be Klotz.
Yeah,
Then Klotz on the treadmill for a marathon.
That treadmill be running a marathon for me.
Phil said, "Will you guys be drinking for dollars?" I'm gonna say we probably. I know the heavies
There's
when
gotta
they
be
did
a
theirs.
cap.
No, the heavies did theirs, and they were just getting absolute
I'm
plastered.
about to-
I would say drinking for dollars.
I bring it.
No.
Nick's right.
Yeah, we're not going to drink for. There'll be things for us for people to donate to
Blacked
do
out.
certain things, or I'm going to probably say no drinking for money, because that could really turn into something Live.
I'll do it for the
No, Klotz. As I'm gonna say is like a executive producer, a co-executive producer on the show. I'm putting my vote in as no, because especially not you, Klotz.
See where it goes.
Especially not you, Klotz. We're live.
Yeah, dude, I'm thinking of the Knicks situation. Dude.
Yeah, Klotz. Especially not Klotz.
Why, Boone? Good time.
No. You. I think if anyone was to get canceled, I think Lukas Klotz would. And if that man gets some drinks in him, he's getting canceled.
Fair. No, he would. Yeah, I mean,
no. If we do a 24-hour and Klotz is just like 8 shots deep,
that's anyone though.
I'd have to
You're
find
drunk.
a safe room.
He would probably be running on the treadmill and then he would throw up. It'd probably be
projectile vomit. Just
hey, appreciate you all, man. Appreciate you all.
Passes out, blood clots.
Shout out
to live
Rise from the ashes.
Oh, man.
Right.
Pass out again.
We all just like cheering, like it's back.
I'm just laying there 17 hours of the stream. It's just me face down.
Oh man.
What a great week, man. Let's keep it pushing. Appreciate you all. Have a great weekend. Tomorrow, Saturday mornings for crunch time.
10 a.m.
Caleb Czarnik. Much love. Stay safe.
We'll be back Monday too. 8 o'clock. Love you guys. Go Tigers this weekend.
Peace.